Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, flying, need no pity. Family life was blowing up, not enough for my cup. Trying only to look up, even as a baby I knew what's up. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Gutter boy was treated shitty, running, flying, need no pity. Family life was blowing up, not enough for my cup. Trying only to look up, even as a baby I knew what's up. Ran away for college, trying to obtain that knowledge. For a baby boy Thomas to know himself as flawless. I was growing up in bondage to a redneck mind unpolished. Locked it up like a hostage cause I was constantly admonished by my family, by my friends. I'm the weird kid yet again. Piss me off and I demolish you. Nothing but the honest truth. It would just astonish you. Put you in a lock or two. Only keep a couple few people close to me, but who? That is for me, not you. But please know that I love you too. Keep you in my heart and mind, and I will always root for you. Succeed and love your life. Even get a husband, wife. Just here to make art for the soul, express my strife. But if I find a goddess, then I gotta be honest. I'll give her my entire heart. No need for being modest. All these thoughts driving through this town. It's honestly ironic. When I left at 18, said I'm never coming back, I promise. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Ghetto boy was treated shitty, running, crying, need no pity. Moved on back and stuck here now, hoping things didn't change, but wow. Post-storm leaders made a vow, then lie and steal and stay highbrow. Trying to get out the city, born up in the nitty gritty. Ghetto boy was treated shitty, running, crying, need no pity. Moved on back and stuck here now, hoping things didn't change, but wow. Post-storm leaders made a vow, then lie and steal and stay highbrow. Panama City politicians always clown. After Hurricane Michael, they left us all to drown. 5 million stole from FEMA, yeah, they thought they'd get a crown. Good old boy syndrome is the only party in this town. Kick them out of office, tear the entire system down. Charge $500 a month with wires, lay up on the fracking ground. No power, no phone, but we're paying for it anyway. Set their ass on fire, profits over people is the way. Burn them all down, take our money back, let them pray. Feed them to the fishes and the sharks up in the bay. Take this fight national, those phonies always stray from doing what the people want. They just look to prey on our fears and feed us lies through propaganda every day. Set us against each other so that we just fray and weaken our defenses. Yes, this is their play, so vote them out of office and please don't forget to spay.
This is Thomas Reddick reminding you to please spay and neuter your politicians by voting them out of office and petitioning for term limits in the Senate and Congress. God bless America.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, live streaming directly into your homes and phones via Facebook and the HWWS WebTV channel on YouTube. Welcome to episode 24 of Lights, Thunder, Action. I'm Thomas Carter Rochester, a.k.a. Oh, Son of Dale.
And I'm David Thompson, and today we are catching up, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a lot to discuss. We obviously did not have a live show for you last week. I'm going to ask Thomas about why that is in just a few seconds because I want to get a little catch up for everyone. We've got a lot to do. We're going to go rapid fire. I say rapid fire. We'll probably be here a while, ladies and gentlemen.
Rapid fire for us. Rapid fire for us.
Yeah. We'll be moving. We'll be moving through all this news today. We're not doing a big topic. No trilogy of trilogies. No movie to review. It's all what the news today, essentially. We've got good, bad, and weird news, and some crossover. Some's good and bad. Some's weird and good. It's going to be a fun time. We got a lot to catch up on. There's just been a lot of news happening, and not all of it's been great, but some of it's been really exciting and giving us some hope. So we're happy you're all here joining us today. Thomas, how are you doing? And how was Texas? I didn't know we were going to see you again. We weren't sure. I wasn't sure if you were going to make it out of there.
I'm great. This is the first show from my new place.
Yeah.
David moved recently. He was able to, in the same day he moved, have a show. I moved and then went to Texas for 2 weeks, and now we're having a show.
Yeah.
Texas was great. It was so much fun. For those of you that do not know, I was in Texas filming a feature film called Corsicana, also filmed in Corsicana. I got to work with some amazing people. Noel G, which you know from every movie ever, basically. Bruce Almighty has the monkey come out of his butt. He's in Fast and Furious. Everyone always is like, is that the guy who always plays Hector? I'm like, I believe he always plays Hector. I'm not 100% sure. I just know the guy. Lou Temple, who was in The Walking Dead, he's in this movie as well. They are part of a large gang, Major Dodge, Billy Blair, and Robert Johnson, who I met all of them and knew them just from this. I was able to meet a lot of people through them. We got to have a lot of fun. I got beat up. I was covered in blood, real blood, fake blood. It all kind of mushes together after a while. Long, hot days, tons of fun. It's also being directed by Isaiah Washington, who most people know him as that one doctor from Grey's Anatomy. I don't watch Grey's Anatomy, so I don't know what his character name was at all. I was just like, oh yeah, he was the doctor who was with Sandra Oh's character, who I also don't know character names. He was also in The 100 and a few other different things. Holy balls, what an exciting time. And there's some surprises in store when everyone sees this movie that I didn't know about until the day of. So, hey, take
Very
that.
excited.
David, how have you been, you beautiful son of a blue?
I've been pretty good, man. Just living life. Did I see a movie? Oh yeah, me and Jasmine saw. We were back in the theater. We saw Broken Hearts Gallery, which is it's kind of a rom-com kind of chick flick movie that's came out recently. It has Dacker Montgomery from Stranger Things. You know Billy from Stranger Things.
You mean the Red Power Ranger?
Yes, the Red Power Ranger. I forgot about that.
Everyone knows him as. They say they know him from Stranger Things, but they're liars.
He was in that movie, and he was really good, and I really enjoyed that. So that's movie-wise, that's really what's been up.
Did you cry?
No, I didn't cry. It was more funny and kind of just like goofy than I think super emotional like that. It wasn't like a heartbreaker, I would say. It was more just like a comedy. Definitely just like a rom-com.
Do you think I would cry? You know that I cry at all happy things. So do you think I would cry?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't remember feeling too moved by it at all. It was kind of just fun.
Well, you are a robot, so
I'm definitely not. But that one, it was. I'm definitely not a robot, considering I literally hear like a beat of music from like Star Wars or Avengers and like start welling up. So I definitely am not a robot.
That's right.
It's honestly
same.
I love how we're just jumping right into nothing, but I want to say like there's something about music in movies that I think I have such a connection to. I'm not even that big of a music person. It's just like great scores. And like when the score really hits, I think it just makes a movie so much better. This has to do with nothing, but it's just a personal thing where I've noticed it all my life. When I was younger, you don't have the things to articulate this, but now older, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah. You go back and you watch certain things, even like Back to the Future, when we did the trilogy of trilogies of that, just the soundtrack and the score and everything. It's like, holy crap, this makes this movie so much better. Star Wars, the Avengers films. Shout out to The Amazing Spider-Man 2. I don't know who composed The Amazing Spider-Man 2's score, but I really, really love the theme of that movie. It has amazing, like, heroic highs, and then also has really good, like, piano kind of, like, lows, especially at the end of the movie when, spoilers, when Stacy dies. Yeah, so.
Which was brutal to watch.
Yes.
And I knew it was coming. What in the
Yeah, we all did. When the trailer came out and she was wearing the exact same outfit from the comic, it was like, oh my gosh, it's actually happening.
It's like, they're gonna kill her? That's insane. David, what else have you been watching?
Yeah, I've been watching The Boys, which I have. Are you caught up?
I have not had the time to watch yesterday's episode.
Yeah, I just started watching earlier. I'm probably like 25 minutes into The Boys. So that was episode 5 of The Boys. So yeah, that's coming out. I actually kind of like their system right now. They released the first 3 and now it's week by week. So it was kind of a fun little mix where at first, hey, you could binge the first 3 and now we wait week by week. I guess part of me just wish it had all been out, but I enjoy having like, oh, hey, it's Friday. There's something out. which has made me extra excited for when Mandalorian finally shows up, and it's reminding me of that because I need to change my system. Last time when Mandalorian was coming out, I would literally just roll over in bed and watch it on my phone, like right when I woke up, because I didn't want to wait, and I'm like half asleep, so I would literally just turn it on. I need to fix that because I want to watch it on a TV. But yeah, anyway.
I got to figure out how I'm going to do Mando this season because I have to watch it with my dad.
Yeah.
Them the rules. So I might have to go to his place every Friday night after work and watch it.
Oh, man.
I'm hoping I can coax them to come to my place. And then there's a chance I'm going to have to move watching it until like Saturday, because
that's gonna be tough.
So tough, bro. But I do Power Ranger watch longs on Friday as of right now, so that might change. Right. Until then, everything, all things move through the Force.
There you go.
I've been watching The Boys as well. I watched American Pickle on HBO Max. Shout out to the Max. That has. Let me think about how it's Seth Rogen, and it's based in 1919 as well as 2020. Really weird flick, really good though.
Yeah,
I definitely cried in this one.
Oh, I'm an idiot. What I've been watching, me and Jack. Okay, so it's my first time. Did I tell you this? I'm watching Harry Potter for the first time.
Oh, the first time for the first time in like ever.
Yeah. Literally ever, because I've never seen it, and I never really had any interest in it. I didn't watch it when I was growing up or anything, and I don't know, I just didn't think it was for me. And I've been to Universal, like with the whole world and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And now, I mean, we just finished Prison of Azkaban, so now we're going into Goblet of Fire, I think. The fourth movie. Anyway, I'm a big fan so far. Really enjoying it. I'm 22 years old, and it's pretty old now, and I feel like it's something that like Jasmine Purr's like, oh, I watched this when I was a little kid and everything like that. Like Sorcerer's Stone, the first one we were watching, it's like, oh my gosh, so many like memories, like car rides and stuff she was saying. But yeah, really enjoying that. I've actually gotten it. We're diving in, and it's been really fun. So yeah, that's what I've been watching. A lot of my friends are congratulating me on finally getting to it. Some are like, what the heck? How have you never seen it before? But yeah, it's making me more excited to go back to Universal too, because before, when I'd go into those like areas, the Harry Potter stuff, I'd be like, I don't know this. It's cool. It looked like the architecture looks awesome. Like, and it's interesting. But now actually knowing what it is, and I love how, another random aside, before we get to moving on, is it makes me think, because they take stuff directly from the films and just put it in the park and make it like exactly how it looks. And at Disney for Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, they made like a new planet. And it makes me kind of wish they had made like makes me wish that Disney had done something with Star Wars that we all knew and loved, and not some new creation where because I feel like the stuff because I've been a few times to Galaxy's Edge. I feel
don't rub it in or anything.
Well, I'm just saying that the stuff that I think is most enjoyable about Galaxy's Edge is the stuff that we all know and love. Seeing the Millennium Falcon, seeing stormtroopers walking around, see these big, huge, like not spaceships, but like Y-wings and X-wings and stuff, like kind of just sitting around. So part of me makes me think that I wish they almost just took like Tatooine or somewhere else and just created it. I think that would have been really cool. But anyway, that's a complete aside. Thomas, anything else? Forget the housekeeping.
Yeah, I've been watching Legend of Korra, and you want to talk about crying, bro? I got to see. I started season 2 in Texas, and then I ended up going out to Waco for a movie premiere, and then we went to Dallas to go to a nightclub. So I got like 3 or 4 hours of sleep before my 3rd or 4th COVID test the next day, and I was just exhausted. It was a Saturday, so I sat down. Okay, I laid down and watched pretty much the whole season 2 of Korra, and I cried like a baby. I highly recommend it if you've not seen Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
Oh boy, it's good. It's a good one. And we'll probably get to this later, but I've also listened to 4 Star Wars audiobooks.
Yeah, you're going through those, man.
I bought a new one today called Dark Lords, the Lords of the Sith. I finished. I started.
Oh, is that the one with? Oh wait, sorry.
Yeah, that's the one with Vader and Emperor.
Yeah, okay, I have that book. Yeah.
Have you read it?
I haven't read it though. No.
Boy,
I'm that guy that has books but hasn't read
You
it.
also have Master and Apprentice, which you've not read.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend Master and Apprentice. It's so fracking good. Okay, here's my order that I recommend doing things. Queen's Peril and then Queen's Shadow. It's all about Padme. Very good books. Holy bejesus. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Talk about, okay, so crying. When it comes to crying, I was driving and I cried so hard I had to stop and wipe my eyes because I could not see. Because book one, okay, sorry, not book one, Queen's Peril, which is technically the prequel because the first book that came out is Queen's Shadow. Queen's Shadow is between episode 1 and 2. Queen's Peril is the beginning of Padme's reign as queen.
Yeah.
And it goes through episode 1.
That's very cool.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. Not at all. So Queen's Peril, you learn about all these characters. And then in Queen's Shadow, at the very beginning, the first 2 or 3 chapters is the end of her reign as queen. And it's like, oh, they're going off to do all these things. And I'm feeling it now. I'm getting goosebumps. Because I listened to Queen's Peril first and then Queen's Shadow, I knew nothing about what happened during the Battle of Naboo. And then, so when it came to the beginning of book 2 in Queen's Shadow, and they're going off and doing all these grand things, it's like it's like the end of a major character arc for each of them. And I cried like a freaking baby. Like so many tears. You know, Sashay, all I'm going to say is Sashay. If you know, you know. I listened to those 2, and then I listened to Master and Apprentice, and it gave a little bit of that set before
episode 1.
Set before it's the first 4 years. It's set the 4th year of Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon's Master and Apprenticeship.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's like 8 or 10 years before Naboo happens. And then at the end of the book, it goes into ending of the death of Qui-Gon and all that good stuff, bad stuff, weird stuff. Welcome to the show. And then yesterday and today, I listened to Dooku Jedi Lost. Holy crap. I will never be able to watch anything about Dooku the same again. That dude is fracked up in so many ways that you cannot fathom when you see him in the Clone Wars or in Attack of the Clones or when he gets his head lopped off by Anakin. It's not the Jedi way. What have I done? Just holy Jesus. Seriously, you feel bad and you know he's going to turn to the dark side. And the whole time you're like, don't do it. But he does. And they leave it a little bit ambiguous. Oh, very much. Well, a little bit less. Like, Anakin, it's like, oh, okay, this is how it happens. With Dooku,
right,
it's still left up for debate on like how he started learning the ways of the dark side. I have a theory, but it's just a fan theory, which it's early, so why not throw a fan theory in here? I'm going to spoil the book. He meets Palpatine after talking to the Senate. And you learn about his lineage far before this, and they have one little interaction. And then after that, and the reason I say to do it in this order is because you learn about Rael. I don't remember his last name. Damn it. A character. It was Dooku's first apprentice. Qui-Gon learned from him. His name is Rael. And I just can't remember his last name right off the top of my head right now. I'm listening to like 20 hours of Star Wars books. So, so he's in Dooku Lost, but you don't really learn about him. You learn about him more in Master and Apprentice. So when you listen to that and then you listen to Dooku Lost, you're like, okay, right, yes. And he's a tertiary character in Dooku.
Yeah.
So it gives like extra backstory, but he was friends with Palpatine, which you find out in the Dooku book. And then he says, yes, he helped me a lot in my early years as regent for Pergyle. I don't remember the planet's name. Pygul. So that's how I think Palpatine and Dooku is like, oh, well, I'm now the Count of, damn it, I don't remember the damn name of the planet either. I just finished this right before we got on. But Sorrento. So he's the Count of Sorrento, and he's now leading a planet. And so, I think that is how he reaches out to Palpatine for a little bit of assistance, and then it's like, oh my, the dark side is strong with him. Then it's just fascinating story.
Yeah.
Before we fully move on, let's give a shout out to all of our homies in I don't know why I said homies in the chat. We got Terry McIver. Hello, brother.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you for sharing everything.
As per usual, thanks, Terry.
Yes, movie scores is next week. Give a shout out to Reels and Heels. They're doing movie scores next week. Today they talked movie soundtracks. I'm glad he said this because I thought that I got my days mixed up, which really sucks because not only did I, but now the one that I wanted to be on, which was the movie scores, I'm not free for.
Yeah.
My brain is in Texas still. Alfred Pennyworth is in the chat as well. Hello, Alfred. Kyle Nunez, appropriately. Hello there. Who else we got? Brian Crook. Thank you. David, you're gonna love this. He lives.
Let's go Heat. Yeah, going up 3-0 tonight. Let's go. What's up, Gabe? Gabe is a Celtics fan. Boo, Gabe. But
you know what
Star
sucks
Wars,
is
so.
I hate both of them. I hate the Heat and I hate this. Listen,
How do you hate the Heat?
I'm a Mavs fan, and I'm still pissed off about that 3-1. What was it? A 2-0 comeback that they had with Wade and Shaq.
But you guys won in 2011.
Yes, but it doesn't quantify enough. But we did win in 2011. That's right.
Yeah,
we beat LeBron. The best part about that, fortuitous, when he's like, I'm taking my talents to South Beach, I was like, that's a bitch move. And I was like, you know what? I hope they go to the finals, and then I hope whoever plays them beats their ass in 7 games just to give them hope. And I was like, it'd be dope if it was the Mavs. Mavs win in 6, bitch. Woo!
It's one of the I mean, for the Mavs, like that's one of the best championships to have is that one against the Heat because it was just such a.
That was the best. No, when they went with 7, Heat, Spurs. When that series went to 7, I think only one of them went to 7. That was
2013.
That was probably the better series out of all LeBron Heat stuff.
Yeah, LeBron and the Heat. That was the best series because that was just insane.
That was just bangers back and forth, man.
And that Heat team was like unreal at that point because they had won a championship. They'd gotten over the hump. They had hit rock bottom after 2011. And anyway, welcome to the sports show of Lights Under Action.
Welcome to Sports, the podcast. Football's back.
It is tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. Except if we fucking lose to the Falcons, I swear to God.
Yeah, the Colts played the Vikings. We have to win. We just lost to the Jags.
You guys are playing the Vikings? Your defense was bad last week.
Let's get to the housekeeping.
Rough, bro.
I don't want to talk about it.
David, where can everyone find the audio version of this podcast?
Yeah, guys. So if you aren't tuning in now or can't catch all of us live, you can always check out our audio version of the podcast. We have all of our episodes, interviews, all up right now on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and our hosting site, Spreaker. Go check it out there. Basically, wherever you guys can find audio podcasts, we are there. Lights, thunder, action. So yeah, driving, going on a jog, turn us on. We'll be there doing our full live show, just in audio form. Thomas.
You turn us on, we'll turn you on. Social media. We are always live streaming right here to our Facebook page, Lights, Thunder, Action Show, as well as the HWWS. I'm sorry, I did all those tongue twisters and I still can't say it. HWWS WebTV channel on YouTube. You can also find our syndicated episodes on the HWWS WebTV Facebook page. It's a lot of fun. Also, while we're here, like us on follow us on the Twitter at LTA Podcasting. That is an action verb.
And go follow us on Instagram at Lights Thunder Action. We got to add that on there.
Yes, we do.
Trying to grow our Instagram. We post clips. We've been posting a lot of clips. And thank you guys all for checking those out. I think we've gotten some good responses from that. I think it's been pretty fun. We've been posting clips from previous episodes. I'm going to have a load of clips from today's show. Can't wait.
Oh, yes. Also, for those of you wondering, the Tournament of Trilogies is on official hold. We're right at the finals. It is still Indiana Jones versus Jurassic Park, but Facebook hasn't really, let me put it like this. For 4 weeks, I've been trying to get that damn poll made, and I'm getting really upset. Okay, Zuckerberg! Give me the polls. I just want to end this one. I don't like hanging chads. I don't like loose threads. I want to set it on fire, let it all burn to the crisp it needs to, so we can watch the Indiana Jones trilogy and or the Jurassic Park trilogy. I don't know why I put more work on us when I said and. You know what? That boom. Welcome to behind the scenes, David. That might just have to be the recompense. We might just have to do both and end the Tournament of Trilogies until we figure out a better way to get.
We might just have to do both.
Because I hate Survey Monkey from all of the projects that we had to deal with in college. I don't like Survey Monkey. It's finicky.
I don't like the Facebook thing. It just should work, and it's really frustrating. But yeah, sorry guys. Thanks for your patience. Tournament of Trilogies, Trilogy of Trilogies. They've both been on pause, and yeah, maybe we just do both. Maybe we do.
Well, you know what? Why not both? Right? In that, what were we gonna say?
We're all inclusive, is what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah. The light, the dark. You'll have to have both to find balance. Which leads us to the third option: the weird, the good, the bad, the weird, the light, the dark, the weird. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everyone's favorite segment of the day. What the news?
And wow, what the news do we have today? Because this is the show, ladies and gentlemen. We've been going for nearly 30 minutes with all of our fun stuff, and now we've hit it. We've hit all we're going to be talking about today. It's just a load of news, some a little older than others, but it's still very relevant and stuff that we have not talked about on here. And I'm sure all of you are tuning in to hear our fantastic thoughts on everything. So let's get it rolling.
Fun fact, we have 17 different topics of news we're bringing to you today.
Lucky number 17. Here we go. The first one, we have a bad news story. Starting off low. Wonder Woman 1984 has been officially moved back once again to Christmas of 2020. And Black Widow.
My birthday.
Yes, it was supposed to come out early October, right when Thompson's birthday is, but now it is going to be a Christmas gift for all of us, hopefully. And I think that's one of the main points I want to bring up here is hopefully. And now Black Widow, there's a lot of rumors. There's now the rumor mill just picking up when it comes to Black Widow because we don't know when it was supposed to come out. It's supposed to come out, I think it's November 6th as of right now. November 6th is coming up quick. That's in like 6 weeks. And that would be amazing if Black Widow was actually out in 6 weeks. But later today, we're going to be talking about some of the Tenet box office numbers compared to Mulan, who is now out on Disney Plus Premier Access. And obviously, Black Widow could have a similar voyage if it wanted to. And I'll be honest, I think with Black Widow, they've got to be thinking some unique thoughts. I don't know. I mean, you got to be making up. Yeah, you might need to get creative right now, I think. Because pushing back is all well and good, but if it's not pushing back like a year or way back, you don't really know. Because the pandemic, I think, especially back in like the spring, is lasting longer than anyone I think ever anticipated from when these movie studios when they pushed back to the fall. Tenet came out, but that's just Tenet, really. That's the only big movie out in theaters, and now we have Wonder Woman moving out of the way. Moving not only out of October, but way back into December, if that even sticks. So, Thomas, first off, what were your thoughts when we kind of got your thoughts on when you heard that Wonder Woman's moving back to Christmas Day? And then also, what do you think the game plan is going to be for Black Widow?
Yeah, they ruined my birthday. Thanks, Warner Brothers. You suck. You really, really suck.
Well, good news is the Batman should come out next year on your birthday.
Will it? Sorry.
It's back to filming.
Overreaction, however, comma, will it? Yeah, I don't care about my birthday, but Wonder Woman made me care about my birthday, and now I don't care about it again. So we're there. Black Widow. I'm gonna really save my thoughts because I'm gonna tease it here and now. My thoughts on Black Widow are gonna be revealed when we talk about Mulan.
Okay.
Because the math works out in a way that I don't think people are anticipating.
Yeah.
And we'll get to why that is later on, and it's very important because it involves us two. The really handsome guy with no beard and the ugly guy with the beard and an awesome Hawaiian shirt.
Get out of here. But speaking of the MCU and Black Widow, WandaVision, we've got some good news. A Disney Plus, and I love when this happens when a random Disney Plus like teaser comes out and it gives like us nerds like this crazy confirmation we've been speculating, where WandaVision in the Disney Plus advertisement said 2020 WandaVision is still coming out by the end. It was always been the schedule was supposed to be, start at the end of the year and then it'll roll over a bit into next year. So kind of at the end of this year. WandaVision will be starting up because it'll be a weekly show. That's how Disney Plus shows work. WandaVision also, of course, it's filming again. We're going to get to it in a bit. We'll get to it in a second. But Falcon Winter Soldier is also filming again. So these Disney Plus shows.
And Loki's about to start filming again. Yeah,
the Disney Plus shows there's been a lot. We got a few Disney Plus show news bits today. And they're starting to get rolling again. But this is very interesting to me, especially, it's kind of hard to discuss that. Well, all right, Thomas, before we get into this, what were your initial thoughts when you saw that WandaVision is in fact coming out this year?
I don't want to be egotistical and say that I called this, but I will say that there is a possibility that I might have called this in an episode way back. Don't know which episode, but I remember we were talking about things getting delayed, and I said that WandaVision, because it's so self-contained in terms of the set, because it is on a set, it's not out on streets doing, all these stunts and needing vast amounts of space. It's basically 2 to 5 to maybe 6 people. They've done all their outside shots already, and Paul Bettany said he's returning to LA to go on to the soundstage.
Right.
They're shooting. I speculated that it might be coming out before Falcon and Winter Soldier, and I'll just go ahead and drop this right here and now. I think the reason that we've heard these rumors about Black Widow being delayed is because Falcon and Winter Soldier might be delayed as well, and I think they need to be linked up, which I will get to in our next little segment, which is a good and bad one. But for WandaVision, it's more connected to Doctor Strange,
right? Which has been going out for a while now.
Exactly. But because it's connected to Doctor Strange and it's connected to Loki, it means that, how after Age of Ultron, the MCU split into 2 kind of realities that you could follow: space, mystical, and then Earthbound. So when I say Earthbound, it's, Black Panther, Captain America Civil War, then Black Panther and Spider-Man and those things. But then you have, after Age of Ultron would have been Thor Ragnarok, Doctor Strange, Guardians 2 or whatever it was.
Ant-Man is right after.
Ant-Man fits in that, it's that weird middle ground of like quantum realm stuff and then Earthbound stuff. Yeah. I think how it's going to go in this same way. It's going to go superpower, magic, all this stuff, and then like no magic, just gritty. Because Falcon and Winter Soldier are going to tie in with Black Widow, which probably will tie in more with Shang-Chi. He's mystical, but he's very.
But that's going to be like more of a grounded film than a WandaVision or a Loki TV show or a Doctor Strange.
Exactly, or Thor: Love and Thunder, which we have news about that as well. Like those are all just vastly different mythologies, or mysticism, I guess is another way. Power sets. That's it. Power sets.
Question. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the space mystical, or do you prefer the grounded MCU films and properties?
Anyone who knows me and knows that I'm a Libra and I'm a wicked air sign and I live with my head in the clouds, of course I love the space shit, dude.
Yeah.
I grew up watching
I knew the answer.
But I do love the grounded stuff. Like, I'm excited for Black Widow because I love fight choreography and Taskmaster.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Falcon and Winter Soldier because I love those characters in a whole different way than I think a lot of people do. I love them in the same way I love Cap. They are messed up, which is why I'm still Team Cap. You're allowed to make mistakes in life, David. But then, you know, they try to do the altruistic thing, and that's kind of why I like both. Is those on the ground try to live by an altruistic vibe, and those who don't live on the ground do whatever they can to survive.
Right. I would say my answer, I really like both. I think the balance, like you were talking about, that was a really good way of putting it. And the power sets and all these different things is that it really balances out the MCU, and we need that, I think, because if it was all just wonder and space and mystical and in the clouds, it wouldn't be as good as it is. We need those like Captain America Winter Soldiers of the world, probably Falcon Winter Soldier, Black Widow, like stuff that's really, in my opinion, even like the Iron Man films. Iron Man, all of them are pretty grounded, even though his suit is kind of fantastical. Like his stories aren't, you know, he's a human, so he's so freaked out by this like alien. It's all in his head. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is actually happening. He has no like sense of comfort when it comes to these alien beings, and it like haunts him, you know. And that's such a human thing that would actually, I think, happen to someone, you know, that'd be living in that world, you know what I mean, that deals with these sort of things. That's why I love Iron Man so much. But anyway, yeah, I think there's that balance, and what's going to bring that balance just right here in Disney Plus from WandaVision, we're getting Falcon and Winter Soldier. And Thomas, oh man, what a news bit you got for yourself, because you've been calling it. We gotta find the clip of when you first were talking about this. But
MCU rumors number one, when we talked about Black Widow.
Yep.
I've been calling it since the first trailer. I've been calling this. Do you want to start with the bad first? We should start with the bad.
Well, everyone, the bad is that it's being pushed. This is the problem this is what I do not like about right now. And it's hard. I get it. It's hard. We don't know when stuff will be able to come out, but there's been not a lot of transparency with the studios right now, especially with Disney, with Marvel Studios. Mm-hmm. I mean, we have set dates for movies, but the Disney Plus shows are not set in stone at all. From Marvel Studios, we have dates, but Falcon Winter Soldier, that's already passed. WandaVision, that seems like it's coming, but I'm really, really excited for this franchise and this show on Disney Plus, and I wanted it this year. And I agree with you. I think there might be something to this and Black Widow being connected in some way, where that might affect either or when it comes to being delayed and whatnot. And let's remind everyone, Black Widow was always supposed to come first in their day one lineup. It was Black Widow that came first. So let's say Black Widow still comes out in November, then it could be coming first again, because it was going to be switched around. We were all thinking, hey, Falcon Winter Soldier is going to be our first look into the next phase of Marvel, which is unbelievable. I mean, we're getting long in the think about this. If Black Widow gets delayed into next year, WandaVision could be our next look into the next phase of Marvel.
Wild.
Who would have ever thought that WandaVision on Disney Plus is going to be the one that starts off the next generation?
Goose pimples.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the bad. And we don't, like I said, we don't know when it's coming. It still could be this year, but it doesn't look like it, because Disney Plus, you think, would have said as well, Falcon Winter Soldier. You imagine that they just have more to film, and maybe, like we said, with the storylines of Black Widow, there could be something that they got to work out there and make it right.
They do have to film in Czech Republic still. They're going back there. That's their next step. So I think they did everything they needed to in Atlanta, so that they could fly to the Czech Republic. But my gut tells me that everything they did in Atlanta was to sub and finish everything they possibly could, and then whatever they had to do on location is what they have in Czech.
And filming is one thing, but actually like editing and finishing everything is a whole nother deal. So
yes,
for a show like the Falcon Winter Soldier, where I feel like it's going to be very intense. Not, it might not have the most CGI in the world, but it's going to have some elements of that, and it's going to have just a lot of fighting choreography, and that takes a lot of editing and sound mixing and all these sort of things. And Black Widow, WandaVision, while it's going to have a lot of those things as well, may not have as much. But Thomas, let's get to the good news here.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, you just take it over.
I'm going to be egotistical here. I called this shit. Okay, I called it. I have been. I give you credit. I have claimed that I will die on this hill alone if I have to. I've been saying that we're going to get a hint and a glimmer of the Thunderbolts in Black Widow, because Thunderbolt Ross is there. He's very integral to that story. And there's, I feel like Taskmaster is his own creation, which, everybody loves it when their own guy goes rogue. Remember Emil Blonsky? Yeah, that's going to piss him off. Anyways, back to the plot. It is being said there's a set report that's teasing the debut, in quotations, of the Thunderbolts in the Falcon and Winter Soldier. What is her name? Erin Kellyman has been confirmed as having been cast. They are saying that she's playing Songbird, who was a prominent member of the Thunderbolts in the comics. In a set video, she's talking to George St. Pierre, who plays Batroc the Leaper, and they're joined by Desmond Kayam, who's an unknown character, and they're speculating that she's Songbird because of what she is wearing, if I remember right. It is her on-set appearance makes it look as if she is playing the anti-hero of Songbird, which we already... Okay, so Batroc the Leaper is back. We know Zemo is back. So if they bring in Songbird and possibly another villain as well, and here's the key, ladies and gentlemen, as well as the U.S. agent who's supposed to be the Captain America, that would be it. We all know Thunderbolt Ross wanted to be controlling everyone, right?
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, that was,
right there. So I have this feeling that we thought it was just Zemo. I think Falcon and Winter Soldier is going to be trying to stop Zemo while trying to stop the Thunderbolts all at the same time. And then it's going to be good, bad, and weird. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I'm so excited. I cannot even explain how excited I am if they bring in the Thunderbolts, because I think the Thunderbolts will lead to the Masters of the Universe. I'm sorry. That is a totally different realm of everything. The Masters of Evil. Zemo is a very big part of that. Enchantress has been rumored to be in Loki. It's going to get weird, baby. It's going to get super weird.
I'm interested
on the Thunderbolts.
I'm interested to see how this goes. I mean, you nailed it. If this actually happens, you definitely called it. And you also, well, I think your initial claim was that something's going to happen with Black Widow and the Thunderbolts. They're coming, essentially.
Yeah. My initial claim was that's where we'll start to see it. And I do believe it was in the same episode where I said more likely than not, they'll be in Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is why they're split the way they are. Because, and we've heard rumors that Black Widow leads into Falcon and Winter Soldier in some way.
Which would make sense.
And I think this is the way, he's trying to build his own team.
Way.
Wherever I go, he goes.
We got to keep moving here. But hey, Thomas, congrats. If this does happen, congratulations. Because that was a really good call. I think I definitely wasn't there with you. I just didn't know. I think to me, it just seemed like it was a really good theory. And there we go. Let's move on to the Dune trailer. Thomas, you have not seen the Dune trailer, so I think we're gonna, if you have it pulled up, we're gonna check it out right now. I've seen it. So you guys that don't know, Dune is a movie. I believe it's based off a very famous book, and then also there was a movie. There's a predecessor to this movie, but a lot of hype. The cast, just before we watch right now, is unbelievable. I don't even know how they're making the payroll on this film. Like, where'd the money come from? Just looking at the cast, like how much each individual was paid for this. I can't imagine. Maybe they all took pay cuts because it seems like such an interesting movie. But yeah, let's check it out. It's a long trailer, but we're going to kind of talk over it here and check it out.
Yes. And if you're watching right now, can you go over to, if you're watching on our Facebook, you know what? I'm just going to ask you, Terry. Terry, can you go over to the YouTube channel and see if we get pulled down? Because we're going to talk through it because I've never seen Dune, the first movie.
I've never seen another. Yeah.
And all I know about this trailer is it's shot for shot as that first trailer of the first movie. So we're going to talk through this because I am so hyped for this cast, and I'm going to I'm going to turn this volume down. Safety first. All right. Oh, it's Warner Brothers movie along with Legendary.
Yeah, it is. So
that's where they got the money.
I love this kid. I really like
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, Chalamet. Zendaya, of course.
Zendaya? Oh my god.
Zendaya's in everything, dude. She's literally in everything.
She filmed a movie. I don't think we talked about this. Her and John David Washington filmed a movie during quarantine.
Yeah.
They're like the first thing to film, and they funded it themselves, and it just got sold to Netflix.
It's amazing.
Denis Villeneuve, I didn't say it right. It's okay.
So I saw this scene actually is like directly from the first movie, like a few changes, like she looks different and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But
you inherit too much power.
Okay. Wow. What? Oh.
Yeah.
Thanos.
Thanos, indeed. Otherwise known as Cable.
He definitely looks more like Cable. Oh, look at that beard.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Dude, I'm telling you, the cast is unbelievable.
Okay.
Actually unbelievable.
I'm going to say this now. These suits are 100% going to be in my future cosplay.
Yeah, they look so cool.
I think dope.
Oh yeah, there he is. Dave Bautista. I was ready for that.
God. Oh my god, I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I don't remember her name either. She's great though.
Mission Impossible. I know she's in
Mission Impossible. Oh, the boy, Jason Momoa.
Bro. Okay, so I listened to Fat Man Beyond, and they talked about this, and a lot of stuff was spoiled for me. But all I remember is that certain people die, and I only know this because they said they're like, if you know this character, yeah, oh yeah. Like a lot of these famous actors are gonna die.
Oh, that'll be fun.
Brutally, allegedly.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I will say.
Wait, hold on. Is this?
What's up?
Pink Floyd? Oh my god, dude.
I'm telling you, bro. It's a good trailer.
Oh my god, dude.
I will say the CGI and the effects and everything look really good. I can't imagine the budget on this thing, but it's like it seems very just fantasy sci-fi.
Bro, I'm telling you, this song alone is just dope.
You know, it's funny. What is it with? There's like a difference between like fantasy sci-fi films and then comic book films. It's like something like starkly different. You know what I mean? And just the way they like appear when you watch them. I don't know. Like this movie doesn't look like a superhero film to me. It looks like a fantasy sci-fi film.
Okay. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know where. I don't know. Also, that's a very famous like wormhole thing.
Yeah,
that's a very like
famous worm.
Yeah. So anyway, Thomas, first look at the Dune official trailer. What'd you think?
That was cool. I enjoyed that very much.
Yeah.
We've been confirmed.
Oh, we're all good. All right, we're still here. Right,
we're all good here now. Thank you. How are you? No, you didn't catch that?
What?
Okay. My reference to a completely different fantasy thing. Okay.
Nope, missed it.
If you understood it, thank you. I appreciate you. If you didn't, David, I also still appreciate you. You'll get it. You'll get it when you edit it.
Yeah, thanks. Got it. Sounds good.
Dude, that was cool. I mean, I'm intrigued. I want a suit. I want to make that suit. Yeah. I'm probably gonna make that suit and then make Thor out of that suit because
it's a really cool suit. I think this movie looks really fun. I mean, I think it'll just be. When does it come out? Is there actually a release date on this movie? Are there any release dates anymore?
Yeah.
It's December 18th. It's this year.
Only in theaters.
Yeah. So
did not fully say.
I think it's actually supposed to like that. Well, then no, that's a big thing because I remember this was part of the news. Wonder Woman got moved to December.
That's right.
And June comes out the week before, and they're both Warner Brothers. So it's like, wait, what are they doing? But I think they think because nothing will be in theaters that it doesn't really matter, and they can have both. And they won't cannibalize themselves because they'll have all the theaters.
They mentioned something about Star Wars and another movie coming out in December that had two different demographics. Like one was a family film, and for all intents and purposes, Wonder Woman 84 will be more of the family film.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know, that's going to bring in
R or PG-13.
It's going to be PG-13.
Oh,
just from the what that look, it looks like it's going to be a PG-13 movie. It doesn't seem overt in any way. So
hey, looks good. Coming soon. You know, I mean, that's coming up. Really.
Thank you, Terry, for getting my.
I wasn't
getting my reference.
Oh gosh. Okay, now I get it. All right, moving right along. We've got some bad news, unfortunately, but it's bad but interesting news because I think it could be smart. Sony their boss is saying that here's a direct quote. Let me try to get his name first before I start quoting the man. Oh boy, he has a hard last name to pronounce. Sony Pictures Entertainment Chairman Tony
Emmerich.
What?
Tony Emmerich?
No.
It's not that guy?
No, it's
he was
Tony
Sony chair.
Vinciquerra.
Different guy.
All right. Yep. Different guy. Here we go. Here's his quote. So the chairman for Sony Entertainment Pictures, so top boss. What we won't do is make the mistake of putting a very, very expensive $200 million movie out in the market unless we're sure that theaters are open and operating at significant capacity. So this is the news. Sony's not going to come out with any of these movies down the line, and they've got a lot. They've got obviously the Marvel films. We've got Morbius. We've got Venom 2. We've got Spider-Man Home Run or whatever it's going to be, Homesick. We've got
Spider-Verse
those 3
2.
Spider-Verse 2. That's down the pike, so like that'll probably not be affected. It's not like a 2021 film. It's like a 2023 film now.
Damn, you're right. Damn.
Yeah, I already got pushed back, unfortunately. Anyway, yes, that was sad. We also have for Sony the Uncharted film coming out, and that they're filming right now. So, and these are I think all 4 of those are 2021 films as of right now. Am I wrong?
That's a damn good question. I don't know the answer to, my friend.
I think it is because think about it. Wait, yeah, that's actually insane. Spider-Man's supposed to come out in like nearly a year.
Yeah, it's Christmas.
Anyway, so yeah, that's 4. This is just crazy thinking about it because I feel like when we were talking about Sony, like back in our Sony rumor episode, months ago, it felt like 2021. That's so far away. That's a couple months from now. At this point, you know, I mean, it's gonna be October in a few weeks, so it's pretty crazy. And that's 4. I mean, those are all 4 like $200+ million movies right there to make, and we're not. And I mean, it's concerning because he says we're not getting them until there. It's not even just like, oh, he wants the seats to be full out, and I don't blame him. You know, for a movie, especially when you're Sony Pictures, which isn't a juggernaut, you know, necessarily. They're not Disney or Warner Brothers.
They're not a juggernaut. I think their best bet. I think they're in charge of the Scream movies, right? I think that's Sony.
Maybe. I'm actually not sure about that one.
That might be a good saving grace for them.
Yeah,
that's fairly cheap to make.
Say, you know, it doesn't say, hey, like it has to be 100% capacity. Everything's normal. Everyone's out of masks. He just says that it's significantly higher capacity. He says but this is the thing. This is where I think it gets scary because we don't know yet. We're testing the waters right now. Everyone in Hollywood is with when are people going to feel comfortable going back to the theaters. There's one thing is having them open, right?
Yeah.
One thing is saying, hey, we're open, 50% occupancy, sanitizing, all this. Not everyone can go out to the theater because they have other issues where they don't want to get sick with COVID-19, where it could be really, really bad. So, people are going to be more precautious than others. You know what I mean? That would maybe typically go to the theater. So it's not just rules and regulations at the point. It's, hey, when we start loosening things up, it's things that have to get better, I think. It's not just the theaters being like, hey, welcome everyone in. It's more things have to get better and people have to get comfortable again going out to the theater. And I'm afraid that could be a while. You know what I mean?
I do.
I mean, I love the theater. I've felt comfortable going out to it the few times I have so far. Since everything shut down in March, it's been fine. You wore a mask. It's all good for me, but not for everyone. And not everyone's going to want to go out to the theater. And for a huge movie like that, where you want to fill and make all your money back, every penny they want to make back on these films, and I don't know. It's scary. Thomas, I'm sorry I've kind of hogged this segment, but
that you had more to say than I did. I was just gonna say it sucks. So you bet.
Yeah. and I'm really hoping we don't get another domino effect of all of a sudden Spider-Man's pushed back somewhere. It's just when things start really affecting what I care about, aka Marvel film, I'm gonna be upset. And it already has happened, but when it gets messy and all of a sudden Sony is not playing nice with Disney and Spider-Man is out of order in the MCU or some stupid thing like that, that's going to be upsetting. Anyway, moving right along, we have good news. And this is one of the best newses that we have gotten in a while, to be honest. Another thing that Thomas has kind of nailed. We got to find it back in the archives. But
yeah,
Kang the Conqueror. This is huge news. I mean,
yes, finally.
I think this.
Finally,
I mean,
time for King the Conqueror to conquer stuff.
So Jonathan Majors, who I'm not sure I haven't really heard the name. I might have seen him and stuff, but Jonathan Majors has been casted accordingly, or apparently, reportedly. Sorry, I can't speak today.
We got there.
Jonathan Majors has reportedly been casted as Kang the Conqueror for Ant-Man 3. Ant-Man 3, a movie that people didn't even know was going to come out in like 6 months ago, and now all of a sudden there's like so much momentum with it. And the Kang and people talking about the Fantastic Four and how the movie's going to have a lot of high-end action scenes and all these certain things that are going to be really awesome. And back, like, Ant-Man 3 wasn't even announced at Comic-Con last year.
Nope.
And now it has a ton of momentum, and it seems it's going to be a pivotal part of the MCU. If they're introducing Kang the Conqueror in Ant-Man 3, like, this is a huge deal. For everyone that doesn't know, I think Kang the Conqueror could be the next big bad in the MCU. I think we both do.
Same. Because he has issues when you mess with time travel.
Yeah, that's so cool.
It's like he's like, that's my domain. So they did it in Endgame. They did it through the quantum realm. So it only makes sense that he pops up via the quantum realm with Ant-Man. However, I think they're announcing him now for Ant-Man 3 because he'll be in Loki, which is what I've been saying from the beginning. Is that Loki, a time traveling plot, is the perfect place to introduce him. I think he'll have a cameo in Loki, whether he's arrested by the Time Variance Authority or he's a member of the Time Variance Authority. I think either works. And Doctor Strange and the Madness of the Multiverse comes out before Ant-Man 3. We know Loki is involved with that movie somehow, some way, because they said that it'll, connect. So, yeah, Kang the Conqueror.
I just wonder. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly, it's kind of cool. Ant-Man 3. I don't even know what his role in that movie would be, except for a cameo. Maybe it would be more, but to me, I feel like this would. I mean, oh my gosh, it would be terrible if they waste him like only in this movie or something like that. There's no way they do that.
There's no way they can do that, because here's the other thing. Here's the very important thing. Do you remember those Fantastic Four rumors about how they would get introduced?
Yeah, like they were stuck in time or whatever, and
they were stuck in the quantum realm. Yeah,
right.
And they've talked. Peyton Reed has mentioned that Ant-Man 3 is going to dive far deeper into the quantum realm than we've ever done. Like every movie is diving further into that, and I think the quantum realm is going to be very crucial to everything happening in the future of the MCU's canon. And I think that, Kang the Conqueror is Richard. He's a Richard. He is a descendant of Reed Richards himself. So the fact that they're introducing him in Ant-Man 3 with the quantum realm, because he's the guy who came up with the time heist. Still can't believe we had a time heist, bro. Like, what the hell?
It feels like literally like 3 years ago that movie came out.
Yeah. Oh my God. It was. We're in the end game now. I think there's something there. There's something bubbling under the surface with the Fantastic Four family, whether they're all introduced in Madness of the Multiverse and then they're delved deeper into in other stuff remains to be seen. I think him being cast now is important for multiple projects, not just Ant-Man 3.
Yeah. I mean, come on. There's no way. Like you said, Loki possibly, that would make a lot of logical sense. Like you've laid out previously on this show. Ant-Man 3 could be interesting with the quantum realm and everything, but I think it's the whole concept that when you mess with time messes back. And that's where he could come in and enforce that. It's really exciting news. Marvel Studios hasn't said anything on this report, which almost makes you think that it definitely is true. Because I think Ant-Man 3 would be a fun small role for him to pop up in. Thomas, you just had a seizure.
So I don't remember them ever talking about you can't interact with your past self. So what if you can change the events of something that happened in Endgame, say Loki getting a hold of the Tesseract, by going back in time to before that? Let's say Scott Lang has to do something in time again and has to go back. He was there. Let's say he goes back in time to try and stop Loki from getting the cosmic cube in his movie, only to then piss off Kang the Conqueror, who just came back to do the same thing.
Yeah. I mean, I will say the one thing that is interesting about this report and just the fact that Loki is going to be a show is that we're going to see more time travel in the MCU. I think part of me was like, why didn't they destroy the machine at the end of Endgame? Because there is, in your head. See, this is where it could get interesting. It could be a really cool storyline, is that it's not that they have to destroy the time machine. It's that just messing with time will cause so much destruction that it's like, we can't do it anymore. We thought we could. We thought it would fix everything. But hey, it's not working. This is causing a ripple effect. We have Kang going to kill everyone. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, what if, remember Ant-Man 1?
I do remember that film.
Where he goes to Avengers facility. He thought it was an dark laboratory, gets the little thingy. What if that happens in Ant-Man 3 and Kang is come back in time because his time machine is broken, or he only had one jump left and he goes to wherever they have that time machine, and who happens to be there but good old little Paul Rudd. Damn it, Scott Lang.
Little Paul.
Little Paul Rudd. Like, what if they have it shrunken down and it's stored with Hank Pym because they trust nobody because there's an Illuminati? Oh my God, there's so many things that are going to happen. We should just move on. Because this is a rabbit hole of time and space.
But hey, bottom line, we're excited. This is fun news. It's something, like we said, we've been talking about a bunch of movies getting pushed back, which is nothing new to this show since its inception. That's all. Like a lot of the news has just been films getting pushed back.
Oh my God, it has.
Yeah, it'll be a great day when finally.
What are we gonna do when we don't have to report on delays?
Yeah,
holy crap!
It'll just be rumors like this and movies actually coming out and taking new information from real films and being like rolling with that. Because think about it.
You know what else it'll be? It's going to be disputes. It's going to be a lot of disputes, which really aggressively segues into our next one of Ray Fisher versus Warner Brothers, which has taken a most weird turn since I left for Texas.
Yes. Thomas, please catch us up. This has just become a mess.
I'm going to try and move through this really swiftly. On the 13th or 14th, Jason Momoa posted on his Instagram his support for standing with Ray Fisher. He said, "This shit has to stop and needs to be looked at. Ray Fisher and everyone else who experienced what happened under the watch of WB Pictures needs proper investigation." That was all caps, baby. I just think it's fucked up that people released a fake Frosty announcement without my permission to try to distract from Ray Fisher speaking up about the shitty way we were treated on Justice League reshoots. Right. Serious stuff went down, period. It needs to be investigated and people need to be held accountable. I stand with Ray Fisher. So then Ray Fisher says, "If you still think Jason playing Frosty was ever a real thing, please wake up. Hopefully now people see the depths that some are willing to go to hide the truth." Anybody who's a fan of Star Wars completely understands what's happening now. To think they believed my brother would sell out the cast and crew of Justice League for a corncob pipe and a button nose, smash face emoji. Moving on to the next one, because now it's going to tie in aggressively to what just happened. Unfortunately, the fake Frosty news with Jason wasn't the only PR tactic used to distract from the seriousness of the Justice League situation. I'm sorry, Justice League situation. My bad, everyone. Ben returning as Batman was clearly meant to be revealed at DC Fandom. I'll give you one guess as to why WB Pictures likely jumped the gun. He posted a photo of his initial tweet. After 5 weeks of interviews, Warner Brothers has officially launched, not his official tweet, his announcement of the investigation. After 5 weeks of interviews, Warner Brothers officially, et cetera, independent third-party investigation to get to the heart of the toxic and abusive work environment created during Justice League reshoots. That was at August 20th at 1:38 p.m. August 20th at 3:02 p.m., Ben Affleck will return as Batman in The Flash, released by, I want to say that was a Variety article.
Yeah, I believe that was a Variety article.
And we were
wondering, it might have been Hollywood Reporter.
Hollywood Reporter is that? Yes, that is the one. I do believe it is. We were wondering on that show why that happened. Like, why was it released? And I said I felt that maybe it had been a brand new thing. Like, oh, it just got announced today, so that's why, et cetera, et cetera. Negative, Kimosabi. It does not appear that way in any way, shape, or form, which is so very worrisome, because if you already didn't like Warner Brothers, why would you like them any now?
Yeah.
Let's move on, really, because we've also discussed about him calling out Walter Hamada. That was on our last show, right?
It was. Yeah.
That was on our last show. Well, we got more. So in an Instagram post, video that was 23 minutes long, I did not watch it, so I should have, but a quote was pulled out that says, Walter Hamada did throw Joss Whedon and John Berg under the bus. A conversation wherein he did claim that Joss Whedon was an asshole and that he never planned on hiring, and that did not fit his vision for the future of DC films. Quote me on that. If it's not true, Walter, go ahead and sue me on that. Now we get to the big stuff. That was September 16th. So we're going to go back a couple days. September 14th, Ray Fisher tweeted, to date, the independent firm hired by Warner Brothers Pictures has conveniently avoided contacting key witnesses who gave damning statements to Warner Brothers HR. They've started interviews with, and have since ghosted, witnesses that have implicated former and current top-level executives. Others, including an implicated individual that called me to apologize, have already been interviewed. We will not let any investigator cherry-pick interviewees that best suit Warner Brothers Pictures' false narrative and scapegoating efforts. all with stories will be heard. Fast forward to 2 days ago, due to the purposeful lack of transparency and in some cases blatant lies on the part of WB Pictures and the third-party firm hired by them to investigate Justice League, an official request for a change of investigator has been made of Warner Media. So as to protect the witnesses involved and the information they possess, I strongly encourage any and all that have been contacted by the current investigator to respectfully decline to interview until a truly independent third party is engaged by Warner Media. All of these tweets end with A is greater than E, which is accountability is greater than entertainment.
Dude.
What the frack? Like this is, in two stories, we have something very similar when it comes to accountability versus entertainment. From not just the source we already talked, but I have a special thing that I forgot to include. So I'm going to bring that up as well because it ties into that whole family of genre. But holy shit, bro. Like you have so much censoring to do today. This is insane. Nah. Are you finally on board with us just being an explicit?
I mean, I the last audio podcast, I just put it up and put the little E on it, and there it is.
My man. I would try to keep them, but that was a quote. So
no, okay. So can I make a comment on what
on this smorgasbord of what the frack?
It's unbelievable. Even got a film out. It feels like, because this seems like it was a disaster on set, and the amount of pent up aggression you kind of feel in reading some of this stuff, where it's like, oh man, like. It was a disaster, basically. And the unraveling right now, and this is years now. I mean, they filmed this probably in 2016, 2017?
Yes.
Probably like late 2016, early 2017, came out November 2017. I mean, and honestly, a part of me, it almost makes me sad to hear these things about Joss Whedon, because I'm such a beloved Avengers 1 fan, and I've always been like, oh my gosh, Joss Whedon is like the man because he made Avengers 1 and he's the one that did it. And I guess we have talked about this before in the show, where you have to kind of separate someone's art from the person.
Yes.
That's not always easy to do, and it just sucks. Like, this whole situation is terrible, and I feel bad. I think DC is going on a better track now. I hope all this stuff can actually get sorted out one day. I mean, we don't have to talk about this every single week, but it's just a shame, and I don't know. You hate to hear it, but I'm glad to hear that there's other, like Jason Momoa, speaking out on it as well. They're not just letting Ray Fisher drown under all of the, I'm sure, loads of legality getting thrown his way from Warner Brothers. So anyway, Thomas, what'd you have?
So I didn't even include the fact that there was a report that came out that said Ray Fisher started calling out Warner Brothers after he was offered a role in The Flash, which then he tweeted about afterwards, which says that he loves to watch a bullshit report come out just so that everybody who it follows him just kind of burns it alive with how false it is.
Yeah.
I didn't include that, but what I will include, ladies and gentlemen, this is the sad Affleck situation. And let's just be real. This adds a whole new entire thing. Like, it's a whole new world, for lack of a better word. It gives a whole new perspective on his demeanor here, because Henry Cavill's doing his best to be political and do this, and
I feel like Henry Cavill's a pretty stand-up guy.
He's trying to champion and do his job. But if you remember, there was a lot of similar stuff with what was going on, and according to Affleck's face, there was a lot of similar stuff from other cast members going on. So when you said you're surprised this movie was even released, I'm surprised that this movie was A, released, and then B, they actually got them to go out there and lie through their teeth about what was going to happen.
Yeah.
when they knew it was pure bullshit.
Yeah. And the experience on set. And,
Exactly. That is such a damn travesty.
And you know what?
That's some Jedi Order bullshit right there.
And there's something to it. I feel like there's something to it where a movie that, you know, it's poorly handled.
Mm-hmm.
There is bad happening, that no one's happy. They're being mistreated, and the film is just a complete bust in every sense of the word. It is your Avengers. Justice League is coming out. It didn't even crack $1 billion. It cracked like, how much did that movie even make? No one really liked it. It was a fun. It wasn't fun. What am I saying?
Venom made more money, bro.
Oh, Venom definitely made more money. That movie had that movie is. That's why Sony doesn't want to release a film until they know they can make all their top dollar, because they know it can.
Yeah. See, and the weird part is I am one of those people who is like, it could have been better, but it's not the worst thing in the world.
Honestly, I think Venom and Justice League, if you compare those two movies, like I could compare those two. I don't know which one I even like more, because Venom, to me, I kind of expected that. I kind of expected what it was. Justice League, you have higher expectations for a Justice League film. Hopefully, we get in the Snyder cut. You know, the 4-hour flick we're getting soon.
And I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well, another thing is that I think. All of this context now, it's coming out years later. It's giving us a lot more why the Snyder cut was so important to people, and why, I mean, it was a whole fan run thing, but to have the actors come out and Zack Snyder being so like, this would never have happened if it was just a Reddit fan Snyder cut thing.
Yes.
It took Snyder, it took the actors to be like, hey, we're willing to put in a little extra work, do some voiceover work, and really be on board. Because I think there's something to it. They want to right the wrong in more than one way. Not just with actually coming out and speaking these things, but make the film that was supposed to happen. Because it was a disaster all around. Like, not only did it become a mess on set, but then they don't even make the movie they were supposed to in the first place. So anyway, the Snyder cut, hopefully it'll right a few wrongs and we'll get some more out of this. But
I find it interesting that we just compared Venom and Justice League.
I don't know how that even happened, but yeah.
I don't know how it happened either, but you know, it's a great segue, because up next we have some good news.
We do. This
question mark, actually. Very big question mark on it being good news, whether it's even news.
Hey, I think there's some news here. So, but anytime there's a spider thing involved, I think there's news. But so Olivia Wilde, she is directing a Marvel movie for Sony. So anyone with a couple of brain cells would assume that is going to be some sort of Spider-Man related film, because that's all they own is Spider-Man related things when it comes to Marvel.
She also tweeted a spider in a web, so that's kind of a big deal.
It's going to be a spider. Well, what everyone thinks is going to be is a Spider-Woman movie. That is the number one. Yeah, that is the number one big speculation. It has not been confirmed at all from the studio or anyone, not even Olivia Webb. The news here, the good news here, is that the supposed Spider-Woman film, or whatever, maybe it's a Spider-Gwen film, we don't know. I would prefer a Spider-Gwen film, but that's just me.
Haley Steinfeld. Yeah.
Dude. Hey, isn't Haley Steinfeld going to be Kate Bishop? Or is that real? Or was that just speculation?
That's not speculation at best. That's who they want, but we'll see what happens.
True. Terry just said Madam Web. Interesting thought. Anywho, so Olivia Wilde is directing let's just call it, it's probably a Spider-Woman movie, whatever. And the news here is that she recently gave a quote out, and it kind of slipped out, where she said, all I can say is that this is by far the most exciting thing that's happened to me, because not only do I get to tell it, there's a comic.com has a typo on their website. To tell a story to listen to me, trying to avoid Kevin Feige's pellet gun. Now, this is exciting. This is very exciting to me, because I was losing my mind when they announced, that was over a year ago, when when Spider-Man was going to be out of the MCU. And I was very upset, and this was a disaster, and don't even want to rehash all that. But now we've had a lot of conversations on the future of Sony and Marvel commingling, and Spider-Man in the MCU, and the crossover. We got look at Vulture in the Morbius trailer. All these certain things, the future of what's going on with these universes and Sony and Marvel Studios. This is she accidentally is confirming to us that Feige is involved with this film and is a producer on it. And to be clear, just for the sake of putting it out there, Feige has produced Spider-Man films when they weren't in the MCU. So that's one thing to say. But her calling him out.
Which ones?
I think Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2. He was a producer on. I could be wrong.
Clearly, they didn't listen to him there.
Yeah. I defend those movies anyway. I defend Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. I think he was really good.
Oh yeah, no, I totally defend him. The first one was great. The second one, they pulled a Spider-Man 3 there.
Can you backtrack me on the Feige thing?
I'm on it, right?
Okay, because
I gotta know.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, so this is exciting.
Executive producer on Amazing Spider-Man 1, on The Amazing Spider-Man. That was a 2012 film, yeah?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, what year did the second one come out?
2014.
Not an executive producer there. You can tell.
Interesting, yeah. so there's a history there with Feige helping out Sony outside of the MCU, but because we're getting looks to be a crossover in Morbius, we already have Spider-Man obviously in the MCU. Her just spouting out Feige's name off the jump, not Amy Pascal. This movie is probably going to be some way in the MCU, which is just overall a great sign. We don't know what this movie's going to be yet, but it gives us more hope and thought that moving forward, every Spider-Man will all be in the MCU, and I'm happy about that. Thomas, any other thoughts on this? Before we get into some fun Star Wars stuff.
Okay. No, but I'm scrolling his credits, and on his IMDb credits, Untitled Marvel Cinematic Universe television show, as well as The Fantastic Four.
What Fantastic Four?
Fantastic Four? And announced The Fantastic Four. That's all it says. The Fantastic Four. Action, comedy, sci-fi. Updated July 22nd, 2019. Anyone can create stuff. Very important to know. But the fact that it hasn't been removed is very intriguing.
I am intrigued.
Because you can remove credits when people attach you to them.
Well, I don't know.
Also important, what's not on there? Spider-Woman.
Yeah, right. And for one thing, he will eventually, I'm sure, be producing a Fantastic Four film in the MCU. We all know it's coming. When? We don't know.
Yeah.
But hopefully it's sometime soon, maybe after Ant-Man 3. Anyway, let's move on. I really want to jump into these Star Wars comments.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weirdest segment. This isn't the weirdest.
I love that picture of John Boyega.
Right? It feels so fitting. We're going to start right off the bat with John Boyega because he walked out. He whipped his metaphorical unit out. He spoke into a microphone and he just threw it on the table. And I just want to say, I feel like he listens to our show because he totally agrees with everything we said so far.
Yeah.
So he had a recent GQ interview, big spread in the magazine. They talked about all the racial injustice. He basically was in the streets, and we'll get to why he fights so fervently for justice and equality and things of that nature. When asked how does he reflect on his involvement in the Star Wars trilogy that he was in, he says, and I'm just going to find the quotes in this article and say his quotes. It's so difficult to maneuver. You get yourself involved in projects and you're not necessarily going to like everything. But what I would say to Disney is do not bring out a black character. Market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are. and then have them pushed to the side.
Which they totally did.
Good.
They totally marketed him to be like the main character in this initial Force Awakens stuff.
The first human being we see, the first thing we see in any trailer is John Boyega.
Great shot. I love that shot still, by the way. That trailer.
Every time I watch the movie and I see that, I'm like, ah! Like every time. It's like, yeah. It's the anyways.
Shot.
It's the shot. Back to his quote. Like you guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. You knew what to do with Adam Driver. You knew what to do with these other people. But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, you know fuck all. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is I enjoyed being a part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it is a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows. I'm not exposing everything. I'm not exposing anything. Excuse me.
It's so true, man.
He didn't. So true. I have a little bit more. The systematic mistreatment of black characters in blockbusters. He says they're always scared. They're always freaking. You're always freaking sweating in terms of corporate and how they deal with it. And then what he sees as a relative salvage job that returnee director J.J. Abrams performed on The Rise of Skywalker. He said, everybody needs to leave my boy alone. He wasn't even supposed to come back and try to save your shit. Which is holy shit, really fast. I think I read that one, but I didn't read how it was all done. It was just kind of thrown into an article that I read. That is an enormous quote that we might have to break down on a whole different future episode because holy shit, dude. That explains why we hated. Okay, I know you like Rise of Skywalker more than me, I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed that movie. Like I think I liked it as a fun flick, but the creative stuff, like how they actually took the story, I kind of was like, yeah, sure, like whatever. I don't know. I don't know. I do like that movie. Like I would watch it. I would rewatch that movie a few times. Like, I liked it. Yeah.
So the last part of this quote is, especially it ties into the, fuck all about Kelly Marie Tran and John Boyega. I'm the only cast member. What was that?
That's like so true. They did those characters dirty. I mean, I did not like Rose. I didn't like her. Not because of Kelly Marie Tran at all. I didn't like the character. But that's just because I didn't like, I just didn't like her as a character.
I feel like Rian Johnson handled both of those. He created Rose. He handled both of those characters, Finn and Rose, very well. Yeah. They lost, but then, Finn goes on this, I'm going to die. He has a good arc in Rise of Last Jedi. He has an arc of, I have to help my friend. I have to do whatever it takes. I failed. We failed. Okay, well, I'm willing to die for this.
Right.
And I'm not willing to give up. And that's why he and Poe get along so well, because Poe does the same shit. And then the losing changes Poe in one way, because he has Leia saying, you have to do better. You have to learn to not always want to die, but to live to fight another day. And Finn didn't get that. So he was willing to die for the cause. Who teaches him to live to fight another day, to fight for the ones that you love? Rose. Rose has the most Leia story arc in that movie, because she's like, listen, you have to do more than just be willing to die, because you inspired Hope. You inspired me. You inspired my sister to join the resistance. And she loves him, whether that's romantic love or love as a friend or love as a person or love as an idol, doesn't matter. It's still love. And hope and love are the same damn thing. You could argue.
Yeah.
So to finish off his quotes, he says that I'm the only cast member who had their own unique experience of that franchise based on their race. Let's just leave it like that. It makes you angry with a process like that. It makes you more militant. It changes you, because you realize I got this opportunity, but I'm not in an industry that
Bless you.
I got given this opportunity, but I'm in an industry that wasn't even ready for me. Nobody else in the cast had people saying they were going to boycott the movie because they were in it. Nobody else had the uproar and death threats sent to their Instagram DMs and social media saying black this and black that, and you shouldn't be a stormtrooper. Nobody else had that experience, but yet people are surprised that I'm this way. That is my frustration.
It's just crazy to even think this is. I mean, that's just a thing. I mean, who just like thinks that way? Like, oh, hey, there's a new Star Wars movie coming out. Awesome, we're so excited. Oh my gosh, the stormtrooper is a black guy. What?
Like, it's
poor John Boyega, man. He, I mean, he gets this just 1 in a million opportunity. I mean, think about it. As like, even like yourself, like being an actor, you get to be in a Star Wars movie, like a main character, and it's this huge deal. And I'm sure, and it's sad. I think these quotes to me, it's just sad because I'm sure in 2014 or 2013 when he was casted, his mindset was completely different.
Yeah,
I'm sure he was just jazzed out of his mind. He was going to be this great character. The concept of Finn is still one of the best in Star Wars, in my opinion. A rogue stormtrooper who goes to the good side and knows the insides of the First Order in the sequel trilogy. Anyway, it's sad to hear these. I'm upset by them, and like we've been saying in this podcast, I wish they did more with Finn. You know, I thought he had a stronger character than they gave him.
Mm-hmm. I want Colin Trevorrow's episode 9.
Right.
Because he leads a resistance. He inspires hope. He inspires people to rise up and fight the fracking First Order. I almost said the Empire. Like, he goes from being subjugated to telling people that you don't have to be subjugated. You can fight.
Yeah.
You can fight. Fight for your right to party and live and love and live for the ones you love. And, on Fat Man Beyond, when they reviewed Rise of Skywalker, one of their technicians, the guy who owns the bar that they shoot in, that they record in, JC, said that all they had to do to make Finn a more important character in the Rise of Skywalker is when the girl in the thing of stormtroopers who, rebelled against the First Order and live on that planet, live on the water moon of Endor, or wherever the hell they are. All that had to happen is you were a stormtrooper. Yeah. Well, what made you not? You, Finn. We heard about you and you inspired us to rise up. And it's like that one line gives him a much better arc. And it's like, holy shit. Literally, that line alone makes everything that he does next more powerful. He's, again, willing to die to bring down the First Order, but not in a suicide mission way. In oh no, we got everybody off of here, and the only way we can bring this down is to blow the whole ship up. And that adds another thing of hope and inspiration. And yet, they didn't do that. And I really want to complain about JJ at this point because
sequel trilogy.
we've gone back and forth. This is like a whole episode in itself. We've gone back and forth about like why we think it failed, and this brings a little bit of new light to it. That he came in to do a salvage job, and you can see parts of Colin Trevorrow's script and story there. You can tell that's there. And I think his story would have been better. But before we get to that, when, in talking about reception and how things are. Alden Ehrenreich has been coming out recently, and I totally forgot to add this.
This is Han, right?
Han. Yes.
Han from Solo.
Solo didn't do as well as other Star Wars movies, but it still did well for a movie. And so it was kind of this medium thing, but that's not newsworthy. Even at high-level journalism, there's an intense pressure sometimes, it feels like, to either catastrophize, I said that right, or celebrate.
Interesting word.
And I think that's really fucking dangerous, especially when it pertains to the stuff that really matters, like the state of the world. An article headline that says, things are complicated and there are good sides and bad sides, isn't going to get the emotional response. And I just think we really have to take a step back and give a lot more thought to our way, or to the way our emotions are being run by the stories we're getting inundated with. He also said, which I really wish that I actually had that queued up real fast. He was talking about the story, the movie itself, and how movie time is weird because that was 3 years of his life filming that movie and then releasing it, and how he was kind of removed. What are your thoughts on what he said about, basically media, which I guess kind of is us now?
Yeah, and something I studied in school and everything. It's it's interesting, and I think a lot of it is kind of what he was touching on a bit is kind of just the toxicity of, especially like entertainment media these days, and less of. Part of me almost thinks that part of it's the media, and also just kind of nowadays everyone's the media and the fans, and how things can get really loud really quickly, and people like to pile on. When someone doesn't like something and they have that in common with someone else, that multiplies, and then you're hearing, oh, Solo's just trash. Like, how'd this become a film? And being this guy who is playing Han Solo, you're setting yourself up for a lot of criticism. That there's no way around it, because you're literally Harrison Ford as Han is just so iconic. I mean, of course you take the role. Of course he tried out and did his best, and I thought he was pretty good in it actually. But it's just you can't go in naive and think everyone's gonna love it, and that it's And I think that the movie didn't do so hot. Just kind of adds on to people's hate, because, like I said, when people don't like something, they'll take everything they can get to pile on. And the media, I think these days, he's right. They like to point out sometimes just bad things, and they like to almost emphasize them and bring them more to light in some way, where it's like, oh yeah, like just clickbaity stuff, like everything wrong with Solo. What went wrong with Solo? Like why he's not Harrison Ford. All these things, I'm sure you saw them all, and
he's got to have character development. I like the idea that they're like, oh, this is such a Disney movie because he had hope in the beginning.
Yeah.
Is that why it was bad? Is that why he wasn't Han Solo? Because to me, he was Han Solo, but he was a Han Solo who was not yet jaded by all the horrible experience. He had hope. And I think the thing that broke him was the girl. That is what sent him into being a cynic. Because I'll come with you. I mean, if you think that Daenerys Targaryen is going to come with you and then she breaks your heart, oh my God. Like he's Jon Snow in a way. He's got hope. But as it goes on, Jon Snow and Han Solo, I just realized, are really similar characters. Hopeful, wants to do the best, wants to do this. But as time goes on, Snow becomes more jaded, but he's still hopeful. The difference is Han Solo becomes a genuine rogue and doesn't give a damn. He doesn't care about hope. He's trying to survive. And that's where they change. But at their core, they're the same person. They want to do what is right as best they can. They just have different ideas of what right is. And then he shoots freaking Carnage, Woody Harrelson, while he's monologuing. Like, that is the most Han Solo. Yeah, I know, right? That's the most Han Solo move possible. And why people say that it's not, I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to get back to the other quote he has. Movie time is so funny. Solo was a 3-year experience, all said and done. I had been away from home pretty much for about 3 years, and not only on a personal side, but also as an actor and artist, the well's dry. You haven't had a whole lot of experience in real relationships with people. What he's talking about is being removed the way he was. And then he also says it demystifies something that is very mystified. He called it an amazing adventure, an unmissable opportunity to see firsthand how the upper echelon of blockbuster scale movies are made, excuse me. It demystifies something that is very mystified. for it to be able to be seen would take a second viewing. And I think that's borne itself out. And it really means a lot and is wonderful, especially kids who are excited about it. Oh, I was totally messed up. I apologize. He was talking about meeting fans there.
Okay, yeah.
They linked those quotes together in a really weird way.
Wow, I should edit their stuff.
Savage. So those are interesting comments from Alden Ehrenreich. And I find it really interesting that all of these are coming out about 2-3 years later when NDAs finally wrap up,
Right. Yeah, exactly.
There's certain things, and like Green Lantern, Ryan Reynolds about 3 years after, which is like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Right.
We hear this a lot.
We hear this a lot. And I want to, again, I kind of want to be upset with JJ. Like I said earlier, and the real reason I want to be upset with JJ is the comments that he made, the comments that Daisy Ridley came out speaking. Do you have this loaded up?
I do not.
Okay, that's okay. I will. I will find it. There we go. This is from a week ago.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, when asked if she knew all along that she was going to be a Palpatine, she said no. At the beginning, there was toying with the there was toying with an Obi-Wan connection.
Yeah.
There were different versions, and then it really went to that she was no one. Then it came to episode 9, and JJ pitched me the film and was like, oh yeah, Palpatine's granddaughter. I was like, awesome. Then 2 weeks later, he was like, oh, we're not sure. So it kept changing. Even as we were filming, I wasn't sure what the answer was going to be.
Dude.
Yeah, right? And that's like the big quote. And it kind of shows.
Dude, let me just say, the worst part about the sequel trilogy, and the clear reason why not everyone connects with them, they had no plan. How does Rey, our main character... Okay, George Lucas is a lot of things, and people hate the prequels. He always had a plan.
He knew what the fuck was happening.
Yeah. I had to spit all over my laptop.
I'm glad we're socially distanced.
Great point. The fact they didn't figure it out by at least movie 2. Give me a break. In the middle of the final film, they didn't know who she is. Think about how much fun it was after episode 7 on Who is Rey. Yeah. Everyone's talking. Who's Rey? Who's Rey? Like literally every website had so many articles, videos, who is Rey, all the speculation. It was so much fun. We had so many questions. And
there are fan theories that are better than the damn sequel trilogy.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I will say, like, it's looking back, it's sad because we were all sitting there. And think about Star Wars and Disney. Think about them sitting there seeing all of this speculation and all of these deep dive, these big time fans breaking it down, going deep, trying to think out who is she, and hours and hours. And they were sitting there like, we don't even know. That's so upsetting to me. This would never happen in the MCU, which is like the pinnacle of having a plan and keeping things in line and things connecting. And all they had to do was 3 movies that were sequels of each other, and they couldn't figure out the main twist in like one of the main points of the main character of the whole story. They didn't have a plan for. Give me a break.
You know what really pisses me off is they said at the beginning, JJ was like, yeah, I know who her grandparents are. Like, I know who she's related to.
Yeah.
That was like, that was coming out after Force Awakens and before Last Jedi. So when Last Jedi came out, like, oh my God, there's no way that's true. And it's like, no, that's not going to be true. Of course it's not true. JJ had a plan. They obviously had a plan. They didn't have a plan. And I'm so angry. They ruined Finn. What the fuck? They ruined Rey's lineage. Are you kidding me? They created a character only to give a new character whose name we never got. Fucking Dominic Monaghan. Why is he in this movie? I'm cool. I'm angry. I've been listening to so much Star Wars, and it pisses me off that the sequel trilogy has just it's poop. It's poop. It's poop.
And I know it's funny. When I think about it more, I get more upset about it. But actually watching the movies, I tend to enjoy most of them. I think I was thinking about this earlier today, just like by myself. I think a lot of it is just because it looks amazing. It sounds great. It's a big budget Star Wars film. Of course, it does all those things, and that's almost enough to just sucker me in. But there's so many things like that is so upsetting to me. Like, I cannot believe that they did not know who she was from like day one. Day one, you needed to have a plan and a way to attack it. And you can see it in the movies. You can see it. Because in the first one, it's very like it's setting us up. And then the second one, where it's just she's no one. And I was cool with that. I was cool with that answer.
Same.
You know, it was like I liked that. I almost liked it because they shouldn't all be connected. But if they'd have been someone else, I probably would have been cool with that too. But make a choice. Anyway, there's a lot to dive into. Obviously, with the sequel trilogy, we've done a lot of it over the weeks of doing the podcast. But this is really upsetting to me. Anyway,
let's make ourselves feel a little bit better. And ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna speed up to a little bit of a speed round here until we get to the last few where I've teased some stories. Let's just go to the good, the bad, the weird here with Kenobi. I ruined it. I'm sorry, David. You have the mic.
I do have the mic. So wait, sorry,
Kenobi. Okay, I got it. Don't worry. So the good news.
Well, yeah,
Kenobi.
Right?
Well, this is why it's all three. Okay.
Yeah.
The good news can guarantee this is good news for everyone. They're going to be utilizing Mandalorian technology.
Right.
On Kenobi.
Yeah.
The bad news, in my personal opinion, is that it's going to be a 4 episodes and it's limited series, 1 season only.
Yeah.
I need Kenobi.
See, I'm
like Darth Maul. I need a lot more Kenobi.
see, I like the idea of the limited series because, I mean, I don't know. Part of me just wants to not know everything that Kenobi's up to. I think there could be a really poignant story they tell. It'll be really tight, collected. I hope they have a really great idea for what they're doing. There's a rumor that obviously Hayden Christensen's going to come back as Anakin in some form or fashion. Like flashbacks or however that's going to work. I just think that, and I think one thing that I want to make note that I will always stick to is I'm a bigger, just when it comes to consuming media, I prefer movies to TV shows always, almost in my opinion. Like I always prefer movies. I just think that's the better way to tell stories. Just my personal opinion. Everything's subjective. But, and this reminds me more of a film. I'm glad it's going to be Disney Plus. I think it'll be really fun. The episodes could be longer, I imagine. I'm sure it could be like a Snyder Cut kind of thing where each one's an hour long. And that excites me, you know. Me and Thompson agree on this, I know. But I thought some parts of Mandalorian season 1 were kind of filler. It was kind of like it wasn't pushing the story forward super like a lot, and it was setting up for the future. I get it because now we're going to get seasons 2, 3, and 17, and we're all amped for it. But because Kenobi is just 1 season, they don't have to do any of that setting up stuff. They just have to tell a story, give us Kenobi, give us some Anakin, give us some kid Luke, and let's get out of here. And I'm going to enjoy it. So yes.
Speaking of those flashbacks, it's rumored to be Clone Wars flashbacks.
Yes.
So
okay. So so Thomas, let's picture something. Let's imagine we get a Clone Wars flashback with Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen from a frame-to-frame scene from Clone Wars.
That won't happen
in live action.
That won't happen.
That'd be so cool, though.
I wish it would happen, but it won't happen. I do not see that happening in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, but you've already told that story. This just
something. No, it doesn't have to be like a full scene. It could just be like a shot. I don't know.
That'd be weird. I mean, I would love that. I just don't see it happening.
Hayden Christensen back as for Anakin. I don't know how they're gonna use him.
Oh yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying I don't think it's going to be a shot for shot thing of something we've already seen. It's going to be something new set in that period. I just fucking hope they put them in the Clone Wars costumes. Like, for the love of everything that is holy, I need that. I need that. Yeah. So like the Sideshow collectible figures that came out of them in the Clone Wars, they used their likenesses because that's what they had. And they didn't want to, because it's supposed to be lifelike. So they kept their sculpts and then they put the costume that they wore in the show on. And it's like, fucking A, dude. Oh my God.
So yeah, I think this is mostly good news, by the way.
We'll see. You know, speaking of Mando technology, Thor is rumored to be using the Mandalorian technology for the film.
Yeah. Well, honestly, this Mando technology, I think it could be adopted from a lot of places all over the place because it seems like it saves money. Mm-hmm. It is something that is versatile, saves money. You can use in a lot of different ways. Just from those, the Disney Gallery episodes, it seemed just like something like the future, really.
Yes, and the big thing is, for a big space epic,
right?
You get to do everything in camera, and I cannot stress how important it is to do everything in camera.
Yeah.
Because, I having done certain things in film myself, I applaud the actors from the prequels. Holy shit, dude. Like, impressive.
I know.
Anyways, I don't have, I'm mind blown by that. But back to Thor: Love and Thunder, although, there's that connection of good old Natalie Portman between the two. So,
yeah.
Hey.
It's true.
Here's a quote from Chris Hemsworth. "Are you crazy? I'm not going into any retirement period. Thor is way too young for that. I'm only 1,500 years old. It is definitely not a film that I say goodbye to this brand. At least I hope so." Great news, because that means we can have the mighty Thor himself. Obviously, we get some kind of Mjolnir action and Stormbreaker, and maybe we get Beta Ray Bill along with Sif coming back and the Enchantress. Maybe Scourge is brought back to life. I'm going to stop fan Thoring right now. What are your thoughts on Chris Hemsworth not retiring?
Well, it's just funny because it seems like RDJ, Chris Evans, those are the original three. They're like deuces, and Hemsworth's like, nah, I love it here. I love Thor. I love this character. I think, well, you know what I think is that he got rejuvenated after Ragnarok.
Yes,
because Thor wasn't the cool Avenger until that. People kind of,
he's the coolest Avenger.
Yeah. Well, and it's, it's just funny because I think without Ragnarok and without Love and Thunder coming, he would be, he probably would be hanging it up too. And not to say that,
he's said before that he was done. He was kind of bored. So when it came to the third one, he wanted to reinvigorate it. And what they did, he was so excited for, and he was worried about what would happen in the Avengers movies.
Yeah.
And they took what was going on and they adapted it. And he's like, I've never been having more fun with this character. Cap started out great. Iron Man started out great. They were great from the beginning. There was a genuine rough plan of this is going to happen, and this, then this, then this.
Yeah.
For Thor, they're like, here's Thor. And it's like, this shit ain't working, bro.
That's exactly what it was. It was like, here's Thor, a big name character, Chris Hemsworth. Here it is. But it's like, all right, how do we make this character better? They adapted. Feige was a mastermind as always and was like, hey, let's move in this direction. Tied in perfectly with Infinity War, Endgame. And he's still got a lot story to tell. So it's really exciting. I'm glad that they seem to be on the same page where I think the studio wants to tell more Thor stories, and so does Hemsworth. So very exciting news.
I would love a Thor, if they go to the movies and they have Jane Foster be in the movies, I want a Thor Disney Plus show.
I'm loving it. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm thundering it. And together, Wonder Twin Power. No, I'm just kidding. Moving on to something weird. Like, I don't know how to.
Moving on to more streaming connections.
Super weird.
It's very interesting, I would say.
Yeah.
So Sony is apparently See, this is the thing. We were talking about earlier. We mentioned that Venom made a lot of money for them, more than Justice League, and Justice League for the DC should be this huge moneymaker. Spider-Man, the collection of characters they have from all those properties is a cash cow for Sony. We have to all understand the business of this, and that's why they're not going to sell him to Disney anytime soon, because they're not just making money from the MCU films, they're making money from Venom. Spider-Man, the video game for PS4, was the most selling PS4 game, I think, of all time. So they're making money, just troves of it. They're just bringing it in from these Spider-Man characters and Spider-Man in general. So now they're looking into making some. This is interesting because they don't have their own streaming site, where normally some like a studio these days, it's like, oh, we have our own like Disney Plus, HBO Max now. But potentially with Amazon Prime, they're looking into different Sony, Marvel characters for streaming shows, where not a terrible idea. I think especially if they were to happen almost like in an Elseworld thing, I think unconnected, I think the story could definitely be better. Like if they're really a TV show where they have like almost how they handled, I'd love to see like a Silk show where it's handled like a Netflix Daredevil like show. You know what I mean? I think that could be really interesting, where it doesn't have to be this big connected thing, because there's something to it. I love when everything's connected, but I also really enjoyed the Daredevil show on Netflix not being connected, because I thought and they told a really good story. They had really good showrunners. So you're right. This is weird news. We'll see whatever comes out of this. This is very preliminary, very rumor mill. Like 5 to 6 shows seems wildly aggressive. And we don't even know what side it would be on yet. But anyway, Thomas, you saw this, weirded out. What else?
Yeah, so 5 to 6 CEO Tony Vinciquerra. Vinciquerra. I don't know, I'm saying
that's
it
him.
I apologize, guys. He said that they're currently working on 5 or 6 TV series set in the Spider-Man world. He provided no firm details. They recently, last August, there were reports that the studio signed off on unexpected films featuring Z-list Spider-Man characters such as Nightwatch and Jackpot, as well as relative newcomer Silk. And it makes sense for the small screen. And he himself referenced The Boys in his interview with Variety and how things can work.
Right.
That's all cool. I have for this.
It'll be cool.
Yeah. I got nothing. We'll see what happens. I don't really care.
That's exactly. We'll see what happens.
I'm a bigger fan
Moving
of The Boys.
along.
Moving along to some good news. So this is short and sweet. No, it's not. I like it. DC Universe, the app where all those shows, Harley Quinn, Titans, I've been talking and discussing about what's going to happen after HBO Max comes around. It's been confirmed that DC Universe will no longer it'll now be DC Universe Infinite, and it'll only be for comics. Similar to Marvel Unlimited in a way. After 6 months, new issues will be coming out. Oh my God, hold on. We're good. I hate it when a sneeze pops up and then it stabs you in the face and then it goes away. So it's going to be just a comic app now, which is really exciting. Along with this news that came out, Titans, Young Justice, and more DC classics are going to move to HBO Max. They just announced that Young Justice seasons 1 through 4 will be on HBO Max. Seasons 1 through 3 of Doom Patrol, DC Stargirl season 1 will be there. I'm sure if I found the original source, it would be great. The big news, though, is that Harley Quinn has been officially renewed for a 3rd season and will be a Max original going forward.
Yeah, I heard that.
It's about fucking time. That is my thoughts on that. I'm very excited. I'm excited that we now have closure, and the fact that, you know, I'm a big fan of Young Justice. Like, huge, as David likes to text me every day. Huge fan of it. I'm very excited, very excited for it. You know what else is huge? Mulan, baby. Mulan. I'm gonna just wrap this up really fast. Mulan is rumored to have made more money than Tenet since it got released on the same day, mind you.
Yeah, let me just say like where they're getting it from. So this is the thing: Mulan numbers aren't official. You don't really know what's going on, but it is speculated that
Tenet numbers aren't official either, because
Really?
they're only reporting on weekend hauls, not day to day, because they're doing total weekend. Yeah. So
Right,
those numbers that we're getting aren't exactly official. And that, you know, this could have been a whole nother segment, but studios are pissed off at Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers is doing shady shit. Shocking. Ray Fisher has made that abundantly clear.
Right. Yeah. So Yahoo Finance, I guess, has been kind of breaking it down a bit, and it's believed that the movie has earned $261 million domestically. And that's Mulan through the premiere access on Disney Plus. And Tenet currently has at the time of this article, 207 million global haul. So that's a big difference. I don't know if I really buy that, honestly, reading it. It seems like I don't know. I mean, maybe it's true, maybe it's not. I think what they do with Black Widow will determine how successful it's really been. And in all honesty.
What do you mean? Say that about Black Widow again? I
think we'll see we won't see the actual numbers, I don't think, ever, because why would they release those numbers? But I do think how they handle Black Widow could be telling of how successful Mulan really was.
Yes, and this is where the tease really comes in. I think some people might go see Black Widow more than they were willing to go see Tenet. However, you know, it looks like the analytical data is that more than 25% of U.S. households that subscribe to Disney Plus sprung for the $30 price tag for Mulan. It was mostly families. Now, here's the difference. They dropped Black Widow. It ain't just families. It's single dudes like us. Well, single. I'm single. You're basically married.
Yeah. Guys like us that are,
I would pay the $30. I would have no choice but to pay the $30. I ain't waiting. Spoilers come in every form, like our damn show.
If Black Widow dropped, I told you this. If it was in theaters and Disney Plus, I would just do both. I would do both. I would have access.
To.
I would go see it in theaters opening day without question.
And I might even see it in theaters twice. Because
I definitely see it in theaters
AMC
twice.
A-list, baby.
Real muted.
So I think, you know, I think that it would be closer to 50% because a lot of new accounts were created for this, and they got their numbers by doing like what was it? There are around 30 million US Disney Plus subscribers. So if the reported 29%, that translates to 260 based on the $30 price tag. That's how they got their numbers. If you do that for Black Widow, and you do that worldwide, like it was supposed to come out in theaters, it said, but I have not seen a theater holding Mulan. That could just be AMC. What was that?
Disney? No, I meant to send this to you. They came out, or they didn't come out, but they canceled the like select theater thing for Mulan. That never actually happened.
Okay, so it was canceled.
Right. So like the movie just never came out.
So this was a full-on testing, which we've been thinking. This was a full-on testing ground for Black Widow.
Yeah.
Full-on. Because now they can do at home or in the theater.
Yeah.
Right? More likely than not, they would just do it at home because then and you know, I'm sure that they read into fan stuff and they look into the analytics.
They have to. Yeah, they have to.
They know for a fact all I watch is Star Wars and Marvel shit on my Disney Plus account. Like my nephews and my other friends watch stuff, but for the most part, it's just Star Wars. I just watch Clone Wars. I won't even lie. But if they release Black Widow, like when WandaVision comes out, whenever that is, they're going to be like, oh, he only likes Star Wars and Marvel. Yeah, basically. Like for what you're offering, yeah, that's basically what I'm here for, Disney. I won't even lie about it.
Same.
So I think 100% that this could be their move. Speaking of Disney Plus and Marvel,
yeah,
big casting news.
Has been huge casting news. So She-Hulk
Huge.
obviously coming, huge.
Huge.
Spin-off, of course. Mark Ruffalo's Bruce Banner Hulk in the MCU. This is going to be an MCU Disney Plus show. Jeffrey. It's been a long show. Jennifer Walters, the character who plays She-Hulk, aka She-Hulk, has been casted reportedly as Tatiana Maslany. Is that how you pronounce it?
That sounds like it.
Anyway, Thomas, what were your thoughts? You told me you were rooting for someone else to get the role.
Initially, I was just like, oh, because I was pulling for Allison Brie. They kept saying they wanted Allison Brie type, and I'm like, that's perfect for She-Hulk. I love her. But they cast her, and I've not seen Orphan Black, so I know nothing of her work. She looks very familiar. I will say that. I think everybody's familiar these days. But considering what she did in, like, I looked into what Orphan Black was, and I was like, oh, that's the one where she plays 12 clones of herself. That's perfect.
Oh, okay.
No, literally, like she plays 12 characters, which are just clones of her, and she doesn't like it. Yeah. Right. I've been told to watch it by plenty of people. They're like, it's a mind fuck. You would love it. That is a perfect act right there to play She-Hulk and Jennifer Walters. And not just that, but I think they do that because it's the same character, but there are slight subtleties. When she's She-Hulk, she does have a little bit more anger with her. So I think it's going to be a slight difference between that and Professor Hulk. She's going to be, as Hulk, a little bit angrier. Right. Like she will be able to exert her anger a little bit more. Whereas Banner is just like totally chill. She's Professor also a lawyer. Hulk, yeah, she's also a lawyer, so she must hate her life.
Yeah.
I don't really have much to say. Like, I'm stoked. I'm ready. Give me She-Hulk, baby.
Yep, it's coming.
You know what else is coming? Kamala Khan, Miss Frackin' Marvel, which I am now 3 levels into the Marvel's Avengers game. Oh. Finally.
Dude, I didn't tell you what happened with my game. There's this level. Did I tell you?
Well, you told me that you had issues and you needed an update. Did you get the update from last night?
Yeah, but it didn't work.
It didn't fix it?
It didn't patch. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's really unfortunate. Even though they told me that that's probably what's going to have to fix it. And they came out with one and it didn't fix it.
You better report that.
Square Enix, thanks. Anyway.
Okay, so you're salty. I'll take this one. Miss Marvel has found directors, plural, for the Disney Plus show. Bad Boys for Life Helmers, Adil El Arbi, and Bilal Fallah. I'm so sorry. I know I ruined that first name. Fallah. They have been confirmed to be directing multiple episodes of the series. It was first reported by The Direct earlier this month, and a new report from THR, the Hollywood Reporter, yes, not only confirms the pair is joining, but it also adds Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy and Mira Minon. I'm so sorry. I don't know your names, and I wish I could meet you and you could teach me how to say them. We'll also be boarding the project to direct additional episodes. So it's a bunch of, it sounds like, oh my God. Obaid Chinoy has a pair of Oscars for documentary shorts, while Minon has directed The Walking Dead, The Punisher, and DC Universe Titans.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So it looks like a fantastic lineup of directors for this show, which really makes me happy, especially because we all know how I think that Miss Marvel is going to be similar to The Mandalorian and how the directors help shape the story with the writer and the EP and Kevin Feige, because that's how the Russo brothers work. They the writers and Feige were the brain trust, along with the other producers that were there, Victoria Alonso and Frack. I don't remember her name. I'm so sorry.
I don't know either.
The crew. They were 6 or 7 people crafted the story of Infinity War and Endgame.
Right.
Infinity War and Endgame is basically how I think Disney Plus shows are going to be run.
In what sense?
How they're created, how they're shot, the story. Like that was a massive 5-year story in a 5-hour span, right?
Right. Yeah.
That's basically a Disney Plus show.
Yeah.
You know,
I think they'll really vary.
Because, Endgame can be broken down in 3 acts. You have before they go time travel, the time travel, and then the final battle. And then Infinity War can be broken up. If I'm not mistaken, it can be broken up to everything before Gamora's death, or to Gamora's death, and then after Gamora's death. And then after Gamora's death really leads into, etc. Yeah. So, that's basically not time. That's like episodes of a show. So I think that's how it's going to be run. And I'm very excited. You know what else is on Disney Plus? We're rifling through because we're tired, and it's the Mandalorian.
It's coming back. I can't wait, man.
We have a slew of things to talk about with the Mandalorian. This is a couple weeks worth of stuff. So first off, they also have directors confirmed. Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, Bryce Dallas Howard, Rick Famuyiwa all make their not Jon Favreau. Filoni, Howard, and Famuyiwa all make their returns as directing episodes. Jon Favreau will be directing the first episode. Carl Weathers, a.k.a. Grief Karga, is also directing an episode this season. Peyton Reed of Ant-Man fame
can't wait
directing an episode. Robert Rodriguez is also directing an episode. Taika Waititi is not back, and Deborah Chow is also not back because she is Kenobi. She's gallivanting around with Kenobi.
Taika will be in the show though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or no, maybe not.
No. Earlier this year, Favreau confirmed the upcoming episodes could vary more in length from what we saw in the previous season. It sounds like it'll be unlikely that anything will be shorter than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But who knows? And it is confirmed that one director is directing 2 episodes.
Okay.
Because there's 8 episodes. I think it's Favreau, and he's going to do 1 and 8.
Yeah, I could see that.
It's also revealed, this is all coming from an Entertainment Weekly spread, which gave us the pictures and then led up to the amazing trailer, which we will watch with you all.
Gotta type.
Pedro Pascal said, "We start very directly after the first season, and he's going to be in a very dangerous territory." So basically, there's no time jump, which is very important. That was a big question we had going in. It makes me very excited because, with the time jump, you can expect certain things. Without a time jump, we really don't know what to expect at all. And it kind of adds an urgency of Giancarlo Esposito. I learned how to say his name recently.
Nice.
Properly. The emphasis is on the Esposito. His chasing the child now has extra urgency because it's not like, oh, they've been gone for a year or whatever. Right. It's like, oh, this is like 6 weeks after, maybe. Like they got off for 6 weeks, which really, if you think about it, was what happened in the span that he fought off Grief Karga's assassins and then went back. It was about a 6-week span, give or take, right? So, etc. Now, it's confirmed that there will be 8 episodes this season. I think I just said that. And that leads us to the trailer. We made it.
We made it. I'm just so excited for that one part with Baby Yoda. Anyway.
Same. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to just start this trailer. And if Disney shuts us down, free publicity, hoes. Don't be a Warner Brothers.
CG art looks great. How's the TV show? Hello.
Notice bum.
Looks like Earth.
It does. Notice the bum engine.
Show me the one safety
Yeah.
deemed such destruction.
Show me the one who's safety. I'll blow up.
Reunited
how
with
they're
its own
just-
kind.
It's just them two now. Like they're just
This
connected.
you must determine.
Yes, I like the fact that we're coming back to
Solves the
Tatooine,
eons past.
and it ties
Tell
into
of battles
our
between Mandalore
our
the
past
Great
discussion
and an order
of
sorcerers
casting
called
rumors.
Jedi.
Ooh, a corn. Okay, first off, pause. Nope. Okay, maybe not.
Oh, sick.
First
Yeah.
off, pause. I think
Oh.
there's a better
To
shot
search the
coming up.
galaxy and deliver
That's
this
Sasha
creature
Banks.
into a raid.
Yeah.
I once said that I think she's playing Sabine Wren. I don't think that's the case anymore.
Yeah.
Based on the context of this trailer, what she's wearing, and the fact that she's gone, I think she's an Inquisitor, left over from the Empire. David, watch Star Wars Rebels, and you know what I'm talking about.
Look at Baby Yoda.
And to quote Jabba the Pod, which I got a shout out on Jabba the Pod this week, by the way, dude.
You're kidding.
I did, because I watched the trailer and then I heard their talk about. I opened up my podcast and they did a whole special episode on the trailer. And I sent him a tweet and was like, "Do you?" Because again, I thought it was Sabine, but I'm like, "She's a Sith." I'm like, "She's not a Sith, but she could be an Inquisitor." And I asked them what their thoughts are, and they have this bit because they're going through Rebels and they call the Inquisitors Red Blades, Red Blades, Red Blades, Sunday, Sunday, and they just do this whole joking bit. And it turned into that on Twitter. So I got a shout out for that.
Sick.
Yeah, I was very excited. I've only been trying to get shouted out on that episode, on that podcast, since I started listening to it. Let's finish this amazing.
Yeah.
trailer. Look at him. He's so cute.
This is the
He's
way.
cute too. This is the way. Okay, first boat I think we've ever seen. Why is he being chased by X-Wings?
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I'm going to have to rewind because there's some good shit in this. I don't know if we get another shot of this, but there's a picture going on. This right here, is my mouse visible?
Oh, yeah.
Right here looks like a Mando helmet. Doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
This looks like Tatooine.
Yeah.
It looks like on the back of it, he has a jetpack as well.
You know this is no place for a
We'll see.
child. Wherever I go, he goes.
Wherever I go, he goes. I'm ready.
So I've heard.
It's the best.
100% the best.
Get wrecked.
This is the way.
This is the way.
There's no way that's the line right there in the action show.
What was that?
I said I feel like there's no way that's the line for that actual like that
scene?
shot. There's no way he's saying this is the way right there. That's not his character.
No, it might be. And
Why would
I think
he
it,
like? I don't know. It
well,
seems
but there's another tie leading up, you know? Like,
Who knows?
you could, what are you doing? This child has no bearing on you. Why don't you just let it go? Why are you trying to get yourself killed? Kills them all. This is the way.
okay. Yeah,
The
that'd be
foundling.
yeah, right.
Boom. I'm so into Star Wars. Oh, I'm so excited. I have a Kenobi book to listen to. Honestly, our plan was to dive into this trailer and like break it down, but the only thing I really want to say is that that speeder scene where I pointed out that there might be a Mando helmet. There's pictures online of it zoomed in, and it looks like on the back it could be either the back of the speeder or Boba Fett's jetpack.
Yeah. Well, we know Boba's coming back in this series.
Well, it's been rumored.
No. It confirmed earlier today.
I saw that too, but I don't know. I never trust those things.
We never. I mean, we don't know, but it's looking
Yeah.
like he's coming back in some form or fashion.
Listen, I'm excited to see him as Boba Fett and all, but it's because of my age. I care way more about Captain Rex showing up.
Yeah, I know that'd be really cool.
Yeah. And everyone's like, I've heard people say, well, she's a Jedi, blah, blah, blah. We need lightsabers. I want this. And I've heard, Jabba the Hutt, like, why would there be lightsabers? And the reason there'd be lightsabers is because Giancarlo Esposito has mentioned that there's lots of lightsaber fights. He said lots, and he said lightsabers, and he made sure that it was emphasized plural. And I was like,
that
okay.
seems weird to me. Like, what? In this show, it just seems like it'll be different.
Well, here's a thought that I've had for a while. If you go look at Star Wars, Thor Watches the Mandalorian season 1, one of the last episodes, it was the final episode where the Darksaber comes out. I give a brief history. Bo-Katan Kryze is the last person in canon that we know has the Darksaber. How does he get the Darksaber, Moff Gideon? I think that we're going to get a flashback. That could include Rex. That could be where we see Ahsoka. That could be where we see all of these characters that are rumored. And I think we mentioned it could be in a flashback.
True.
I would love Ahsoka to be the one to teach Baby Yoda. But I don't feel like that's the move. I genuinely feel like we're going to get a flashback and we're going to see in ritual combat Bo-Katan Kryze die. And because Moff Gideon seems to be very much like Thrawn. Again, watch Star Wars Rebels, please. Seems to be very much like Thrawn, where he respects the traditions, respects things. There's a rumor or a fan theory going about that Moff Gideon might actually be a Mandalorian. He was on Mandalore at the time of the Great Purge. We know from Star Wars Rebels that they had an academy, an Imperial Academy on Mandalore to train Mandalorians to be in the Empire and to join the Empire. And there was a civil war before the events of A New Hope, and they were able to win Mandalore from the Empire. I do believe, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
I have to go back and watch that episode. But it would seem that, and it was during that point that she handed over the Darksaber. Sabine handed the Darksaber to Bo-Katan Kryze. And that's the last time we saw the Darksaber until Moff Gideon rips himself out of a TIE fighter. I think that is where we will get lightsaber fights.
I like that idea. And Mandalorians already kind of know, like the first season, they did a lot of flashbacks. So it wouldn't be something out of the box for them.
Exactly. I don't know what to say about that trailer other than fuck yeah.
Let's just go. Let's go, man. It's coming.
This is the way.
This is the way. I can't wait for Baby Yoda some more. I can't wait.
David, I'm so proud of us. We made it in under 2.5 hours. Like, I genuinely was worried this would be a 3-hour episode, and it almost was, but we saved it at the end.
Yeah, we did.
There are no questions in the there are some questions in the comments.
Some from Terry.
Yes, there's one. Do you think we'll get to see the Netflix Marvel characters in any future MCU movies?
I don't know if we would see them as their actual characters we know from Netflix. They might be like a new character. Like if we get Daredevil or if we get Luke Cage, it could be a different Luke Cage or a different Daredevil.
I hope we do. I don't know if we will, but I hope we do. Like the Punisher?
Yeah. I love Daredevil, man. I loved that show. I wish it would just come back because I really enjoyed it. Season 2 was okay, but 1 and 3 I thought were really, really good.
I need to see 3 still. But
3 is really good. That's
what everyone says.
Because that's like
2 months until the rights revert back to Marvel and Disney.
Yeah, I know.
Another question from good old Terry. How many movies have you seen that turned out to be a great watch that a section of quote unquote fans slated before even the first trailer was released? Yes. I don't know how many, but yes.
That slated as in they like just
I think that means hated on it.
Based off the trailer? I feel like trailer.
No. Before the first trailer was released. So like example would be The Dark Knight when Heath Ledger was cast. Or Batman 89 when Michael Keaton was cast.
Interesting. I don't know if I have an example of that really. Before
I don't either.
The trailer was even released. I don't know.
I mean, those are the two that pop into my head.
Those are good ones. It's funny. I read the question wrong at first, and it's a lot of people point to the Man of Steel, like the first trailer being just like a really, really good trailer, and just in general, and that the movie wasn't that good. To me, it's like
all of it. You know what? Justice League was shit on before the trailer. Like
Rightfully
we
so.
got the once they had the change, it started getting shit on.
Right. Yeah, it did. It
So
so did Solo.
Oh my God, yes.
Way more. Yeah.
Way more, because Last Jedi and everyone was all pissy. Anyways, we're gonna wrap this show up. It's a long show. I'm so hungry. David, where can everyone find you on the social medias?
Yeah, you guys can find me at my name, David Thompson, on Facebook, at David J. Thompson on TikTok and Instagram, and at David Thompson with 2 A's in the David on Twitter. Thomas, how about you?
You can find me on Facebook at Thomas Carter Rochester -actor, on Instagram at Thomas Carter Rochester, all one word, no hyphens, no spaces. At Thor Son of Dale on TikTok, legit RIP, ban goes into effect tomorrow. Twitter is TC Rochester Act. That is TC Rochester ACT. And of course, Life of Thor on the YouTube. If you search Thor Watches The Mandalorian, I guarantee you will find me there. David,
Yes,
do you have anything to promote for this week?
not really. Haven't posted a Double Down Debates in a while. It's my other podcast. You guys can find on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but I haven't posted in a while. But you can go check those out if you want to.
We should get that started up for football season.
Football is rolling. Go Colts tomorrow, baby. Thomas, how about you?
I'm gonna promote healthy sleeping. Honestly, like I don't think people these days realize how important a healthy night's sleep is. Because I mean, I may or may not have driven from Texas Monday night, leaving at 10 p.m., stopping for a 4-hour nap in Mississippi, and then waking up and living off of coffee, and my stomach still kills me.
Yeah, my gosh.
And I'm still recovering. So
No
healthy
doubt.
sleep. Also, Star Wars books, all the ones I mentioned. I'm probably going to do a full-on review, do a Thor's thoughts like I did for Tenant's review.
That'd be awesome.
For the YouTube, but we'll see what happens as time begins to progress forward. Next week, we'll have a show. No effing idea what it'll be about. Yeah. In fact, we'll come back to that thought because David and I have to actually hop off and talk about our schedules because I am actually filming next weekend, something in Fort Walton. So I totally forgot about that. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. It's been a long show. There's been a lot of news. You've been here for it and for us, and we thank you for your time, your energy, and we hope that you have a wonderful rest of your weekend.
Bye.
This has been episode 24 of Lights, Thunder, Action. See you next week.